Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode, 427. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only Matt P. Video. Matt, how are you?
Very well. Big week. Big week.
Big week. Big week. Also joining us this week, we have a full house, thank God. The one and only Mr. Paul Despawn. How are you?
Is something happening this week?
Something is definitely happening, my friend. And the one and only, he's so fresh, we called him Crash. Too fresh, Crash. How are you?
I would imply that that's not my name.
Why, when I hear that, I just hear, that's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. That's
so
not
white.
my name. I love how we all dance. Chris sits there like, you're a
Look.
bunch of idiots. Fucking. I
That
hate
feels
you
like a
guys.
very British microcosm one-hit wonder. there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, was that not? Did that not make it? Do you not know that song?
It came. We
Okay.
heard
Oh, yeah,
it.
good. You just
good
not
song.
down with it. Okay.
That's just not. You
No.
guys are on a completely different vibe length than me. We're just not in the same page.
Fair
Makes
enough.
sense.
Okay.
Makes
You
sense.
get on that level.
Boys, well, we're about to all get on the same level. Today is actually, well, today isn't. A couple of days ago, it's a history in the making type of day. It is the day that I've been dreaming for. As an Xbox podcaster, for a long time, we wait for moments where we actually have content. And today we have plenty. I reckon this could be a 2-hour show. We'll see. It could be longer. Who knows? If you didn't know, this is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast. Support the show financially. Patreon.com/My Xbox and Me, MC Fixer actually. And find us on all podcast services. Shout out to our Patreon producer, Aaron Guard, this week. We do appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. Biggest leak in video game history happened a couple of days ago, boys, based around all things Xbox. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk about each part. There might be a part that I've missed, so feel free to tell me. Maybe I missed the cloud stuff. Probably, Matt. I'm really sorry. Let's start at the very top, though, which to me was probably the most recognizable piece you could just look at and go, oh, okay, there you go. Here it is. Brand new Xbox. We are getting a slim version of the Xbox Series X and S, but we'll talk about the X first. It is called codename Brooklyn. I hope I said that right.
Mhm.
It will be launching at the same price as the current console, but we'll get into all of that in a second. First things first. Again, I guess I've jumped around a little bit. The big leak, I guess. Microsoft accidentally updated a file on the FTC website or something like that. I don't really know how we got this. Someone way smarter than me talk.
No clue.
Oh, no one's smarter than me. Great.
So,
Yeah.
go on.
It was
Go
a
on.
part of the FTC filings, right? And
Mhm.
it's like the evidence that they were putting forward. And apparently this slideshow is quite old as far as I'm aware. And they needed it to see like Xbox's 5-year plan or whatever. And it wasn't redacted in any way, shape, or form.
It sounds like when you're in school, doesn't it? It's like, yo, what's your 5-year plan? And everyone's just like, no, we'll throw some things on a sheet of paper. And well, no, in business it's a little bit different, especially the games industry as well.
Well, especially Microsoft as well. Like,
Yeah.
True,
they've got
true.
a 50-year plan probably.
True. Well, we'll speak about that soon, I guess. Maybe not 50 years, but definitely next generation.
Mhm.
Yeah, but the rumor was that, well, not even the rumor. The thought was that it wasn't Microsoft that did this. It has been confirmed there was Microsoft that made the mistake. Are we not?
Yeah.
That's correct, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the boring part of all this. That's how we got here. Console. You've all seen it. It's a cylinder-shaped Series X. It looks in the photo to me to be matte black.
Mhm.
The best thing I can describe it as looking is, imagine, if you've not seen the photos of it, go check it out on Google if you haven't. Is a Amazon Alexa,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
like the tallish one.
Mhm.
It looks kind of
Yeah.
like a speaker, but
Yeah.
it's a game console. We don't know any dimensions of the console itself, but we do have a lot of information about what is actually inside it and amongst other things.
Yeah.
First off, look though. Crash, do you like the look?
I just look at it and I wonder, like, if I lay it down horizontally, is it just gonna roll away from me?
See,
It's okay.
I
I'm not crazy
imagine-
about it.
I imagine that there must be a way to lay it down, right? Which is, they must have like a straight edge on one of the sides, right?
Oh, they're gonna do the
I-
PlayStation extra stand thing.
Oh, that's
Could be an option as well.
That
Yeah,
could be
and
an
then
option.
because I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking like so in the image that we can see, which I'm sure you can go find on Twitter, like the back side of it there could be flat, right? So you
Fix's
can lay
cam's
it down.
frozen.
But then
Oh no!
the power
Why
button
does
would
it
be on
do
top.
this, man?
There we go.
You're back. You're back. Then the power
So-
button would be on top, which wouldn't be ideal. Like you want it facing you, right? So yeah, I would
Yeah.
think it would make sense if they sent you some sort
well,
of 3D printed
You
armature.
can't lay it,
So-
you can't really lay it on the back because surely that's where all the inputs are going to be.
Good point.
Yeah. Also, like this is probably not even like an actual model they have. This is probably just a mock-up of the design
Sure.
they would have.
Probably also very true.
But yeah,
So-
but if like let's just say this is the thing they're going with.
I was gonna
like,
say
the-
thank
the-
you.
It's basically like it's only upright, and honestly, mine's upright. I'm fine with that, but I don't know how I feel about the cylinder. Personally,
I love it.
I like the cylinder.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can I be honest? I
No.
like this generation in general from the consoles that we've gotten
Agreed.
so many different type of stuff, both with PlayStation and with Xbox. It's not the same sort of here's your box, it's gonna look like the same thing.
Yeah.
At first it was a little daunting, like you got a router and you got a mini fridge, right?
Yeah.
But then you
I
get
mean,
used to it and you're like, I kind of like my router and mini
Yeah.
fridge.
I'm gonna say I keep looking off the side because my PlayStation and my Xbox are side by side here. All the time, like this generation, we've been calling the PlayStation the router. Like this looks more like my router than the PlayStation does.
Looks more
Yeah,
like a modern
so-
day router.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
does,
gonna be
you're
the
right.
it's gonna be the router generation. I was like, I'm okay with that. That's fine. But yeah, no,
So,
I don't know.
look-
I prefer my current Xbox, like for shape.
Yeah, again, so there's a few details to go in of this. Obviously, like I said, Codename Brooklyn. It's going to be launching at 400 if this document is correct. Again, I guess another piece of thing to say is Phil Spencer has come out and made a statement about it. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. Take everything we say with a pinch of salt. Take everything we're going to discuss today with a pinch of salt. Things have changed. Things can change. The industry is always changing. So,
Yeah.
whatever. But $499 is the price. And the whole idea of this is the slim version, right? Which we know. In these slim models, components of the parts get cheaper. Usually we get extra storage, which we have with this, which we'll talk about in a second. But the main thing I want to focus on here is it launching at the same price as the current Series X console without an optical. This is all digital. This is an all digital console. And the parts have become cheaper. How do we feel about that? Because to me, that's where I'm a little bit frustrated in Xbox. They haven't passed the discount down to the consumer in any way, shape, or form.
It's
I think. Sorry, go on, Crash.
it's not really a discount if we're gonna be honest.
No, it's not a
They
discount. That's what I'm
already
saying.
take but what I'm saying is they already take a big hit on the console and then you're including the upped storage, so there is an upgrade to it at the end of the day. I get what you're saying, not having the optical sucks.
Mhm.
But no, it doesn't suck. I'm not saying that. The optical, everything about this console, I like. I like the all digital version. I like the fact that I like the look of it. I like the fact that more storage, which is by the way, is going to be a 2 terabyte internal storage on this new Series X. What I'm saying is, with all of that, we know that memory gets cheaper over years. We know the components have got cheaper. So all in all, this Xbox is cheaper to make for Xbox.
Yeah.
Meaning it should come down in price. I'm not saying it has to come down in price by hundreds,
But-
but even at $50 cheaper.
The thing is like you also have the brand new controller that would coming with it as well.
Yeah.
True.
We'll get to
Also,
that. I'm trying
to
to,
get
I'm trying
into-
to
I'm
form
just
an
saying,
arg-
but
I'm trying to
the
form
pri-
an argument here.
I
Chris,
understand.
damn
No-
it.
no one's on your
the
side,
argument's for
Fix, sorry.
price, and the price includes a brand new type of controller.
Yeah.
We don't even know how much those controllers will cost,
Yeah.
right?
New controller.
This is
go.
also a generation of consoles that have all gone up in price while they've been out.
Mhm.
Because of
PlayStation's-
bollocks.
Well,
Not because it should have.
whatever. But my point
Things-
is,
Game consoles should
everything's
not
gone
go
up by
up in
$50.
price because of inflation.
well, COVID, inflation,
No,
supply
fuck
chain
off.
issues,
I'm not trying
whatever.
to hear COVID no more, yeah? I've been in hospitals. I don't even have to wear a mask anymore. Forget it. COVID's dead. It doesn't exist anymore, all right? That's actually
mean-
not true. Someone I know got COVID the other day.
I was
Um,
testing last week. I didn't have it, but I thought I did.
Okay.
But no, but what I'm trying to say is I am me personally, take away, we'll talk about the controller and stuff in a second, but I'm disappointed they haven't managed to get the price down in this.
This
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me. Like, if you talk about the components that you're going to get in there, you're taking out the optical drive, which is, I think, historically about 60, 70 pounds, dollars, whatever it is. But then you're putting in another terabyte of storage, which historically is about £100.
Yeah, but you're talking about it from a consumer point
No,
of
no,
view.
like consumer,
That's-
they're usually about 150. Like for the Xbox version of storage, there's specific storage that works for them because it has to directly talk to the CPU, I believe. Quote me, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. But the way that they built their architecture, it has to be a specific type of storage, which is
Yeah,
slightly
I've
more
got the
expensive.
Seagate memory card,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is like $200, right?
Yeah, I
But
think
it ain't
that's
costing them that to make it.
Yeah, I think they've got that down to like, I think on sales it's like 120 now.
Yeah.
So yeah, but so still, like you're talking like 100 quid of storage in there, losing 60 quid of optical drives. So it balances out in a little bit. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm not, I'm not
I
friends
get
with
you.
Phil, but yeah, I'm sticking up for him this time.
Fair enough.
It makes sense to me.
Matt, are you happy with the price? If this is the price for an all digital console?
Yeah, I honestly also feel like the price is probably bullshit, as maybe a lot of this is.
Okay, we gotta go with okay. Before we do the rest of this 2-hour podcast, we are going with the premise of this is real.
Okay, fine.
I-
Then
I
yes,
have a
I'm happy with
question for you,
it.
why bullshit?
Because it feels very much like here's what we want to do, and we're pitching it to the board, and this is what it is, and the stuff like all the sustainability stuff on the right hand side, they got a few bullet points there about that sort of stuff, and I don't know, it just feels very early stages, top line, here's what we're gonna do. And then the
Well-
reality of the product that actually comes out is probably quite different from this.
I will say,
The-
like
I-
you say, like this is pipe dream, like early thing. This is something that's supposed to come out next year. Microsoft don't turn around like a year before and go, "This would be a nice idea." Like this is
Sure.
if this is true, this is years in the planning.
But this document was 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
the
Go on,
document's
Crash.
old, but I also think like the way you speak to board members and the way you would put out information is drastically different. Board
Yes.
members usually get very dumbed down information or very
Yes.
vague information, so they opt into things, or so that they don't like sway away in market prices and all the other stuff like big corporations have to worry about.
Look, I'll say it like this. I personally think most of this is true. Obviously, I think dates and times and things like that, which we'll go into till later about. I think now, having worked in the industry for a longish time now, this is exactly how I would, if I was presenting data to somebody high up, and having to give a presentation. This is exactly what it would look like. Everything that you're probably seeing on your screen now, because Despawn's doing a great job. This is exactly how I would present it. And I think the reason why a lot of this is true as well is because Phil Spencer made a statement. If I think all this is bollocks if Phil doesn't make the statement. But the fact that he did make a statement and he is disappointed, and obviously there's emails and things like that. Like, yeah, no, I think all of this is real. I think all of this is true. I'm sure there are things that have been tweaked. I'm sure there are things that have been changed. Like, again, to go into some quick details on the console, right? USB-C on the front. Like I said, we said the price. You said about the sustainability, which is all in line with what they've been trying to do, Xbox,
Sure,
with
yeah.
reducing their carbon footprint. We've got a Wi-Fi 6E. It's meant to be coming next year, November, which we have information on. And like I say, we have no pictures of the S, but in documents again, which we'll talk about in a little bit, it confirms there is a smaller S coming as well. But yeah, I truly believe most of what we're seeing, other than maybe dates and maybe, okay, a new Wi-Fi just got announced by Intel, right? If I'm not mistaken, maybe they're using a updated version of that. Probably not though. But
Probably
I'm just
not,
saying,
yeah.
no, but I'm saying that could be the minuscule in terms
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah,
things
yeah,
that
I
have
get you.
changed.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I truly do think it is all true. I guess the main question I'll ask everyone on here: are we buying it? Would anybody buy an all digital Series X 2 terabyte? Update your features, and again, we'll get to the controller, which is obviously going to be a big selling point. I think the controller is a huge selling point of this whole console, if I'm being honest.
Agreed.
But off of what we know, if this is how it launches, Matt, would you buy it?
No, but I am fickle when it comes to these sorts of decisions. And if they came out with a special edition that I really fucking liked, like I bought the Series S, right? And then gave that to my dad and bought an X when they did the Halo X. So if something happened, like I don't find myself running into the issue of storage all that much. And that would be the only reason to get this other than aesthetics. And I'm fine with where I have my X now. So like, no, I don't think so. But then I don't think it's for me.
True. Crash, you're a
Uh,
Series S user.
Same thing with the current Series X. If they release a Gears of War version, I will get it. Otherwise, no.
Okay, Despawn.
If I didn't already have my X, yes. Otherwise, no. Like mine technically is an all digital. I think I've had the Resident Evil 2 disc in there for maybe since launch.
Same.
And
Guardians of the Galaxy for me.
yeah, and good game. And yeah, I've never played a non-digital game in there since I moved it into my room, and I've got no like plans to. I'm all digital already, so yeah, like again, for those that don't have it, I think it's definitely a worthwhile purchase. But for someone who's already got the X, I'm not upgrading.
Yeah, well, I've got two in my house, so I'm sure it's I ain't buying another one. I tell you that right now. Like, there's no shot I am
I
buying
can
another
guarantee
one.
you, guarantee you, a week later, it's gonna be like, "You guys got the new X."
Got the new X.
I'll tell you this right now. Hey,
Yeah.
Xbox, if you want us to unbox it on my Xbox and my YouTube channel, or you want us to make some content around it, no problem. I'll take one, but I am not personally going to buy it. Yeah, it just doesn't
Have
make
have Haley
sense.
win another. Have Haley win one.
Oh yeah, we'll just go to we need XO24 and me and Haley will wear our My Xbox and Me jumpers and she'll look all cute and win another Xbox. Yep, sounds right. Sounds right. Not quite how the other one went, but very, very close to the story. Very close.
What do you think they call it?
Oof. Well, okay. I think they call it Xbox Series X
Yeah, I think
because
it's,
I think this replaces the next the current version,
I don't
which was
think
going to
it,
be my next question.
I don't think it hard replaces it, but I do think they start producing a lot less of
Yes,
they'll
agreed.
the disc version.
I'm with Fix on this one. I think it'll be they'll wind down the current X, and then this will be the base version. If it's
Mm.
not going to be a hardware like upgrade, if it's just a refresh, there is no point producing two different versions, especially if this one is cheaper for them.
Yeah, I agree.
They do that
They-
with Slims all the time, though.
I agree they do that, but I don't think they're going to do that. And the reason I believe in that of what we know is going to happen in the future, I think they are trying to cater to people of like, okay, which they've been trying to do since the Xbox One generation, by the way, which is like digital future, digital future, digital
Yeah.
future, build your library, digital future. I think this is just a smoother transition where the everyday gamer isn't going to get annoyed because they now understand. Even my friends who play video games, right? Like my casual friends, Call of Duty and FIFA, which I hate the 4-day early access, by the way, for most things. I think it's become genius to get people to understand how to download games because you can't do that with physical.
Yeah,
You can't
it's true.
physically buy a game to get it early. But yo, bro, how you playing 4 days early? Oh, I bought it digitally. Oh, I'll just do that. It's a very good marketing tool to get rid of obviously the second-hand market, but not only that, to just turn our industry into a digital only industry that I hadn't thought about. It's only with EAFC coming out, my friend Mickey, he's always my go-to guy because he's just not technical. And I saw him playing. And I was like, oh, okay, so you understand how to download games. The App Store now. We understand this more than we did on the Xbox One generation, which I will go on record as saying I was all for. But now, and that's why I think they're going to go, well, everybody who wanted a disc drive, you had a chance to buy one.
I think the only reason they don't completely cut it out just yet is because of backwards compatibility. Like that was a big push for this generation. And I think going forward, you might see a lot less disk drives, but I don't think you see it going away just yet. Even towards the end of this generation, you might see the Series X them stop producing the disc version. But I don't think it's going to be that sort of like immediate ramp up to no longer producing those.
I feel like there was I don't quote me on this because I might be pulling this figure out my backside, but I'm sure I saw somewhere like 85% of players are digital anyway.
Yep.
So
The
it's
numbers
like-
are. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
the exact numbers, but
yeah.
physical. But what I think Xbox will do. Let me just. This is what I think
Yeah.
they will do. They will. This is the refresh. This is the new Series X. I think Xbox have been great about. When the Kinect came out, they had the adapter. When the previous Kinect came out, like they've always had remedies to fix issues in which they have caused. I think Xbox will do that again with a disc drive. They will have a Blu-ray Xbox disc drive. I know, I'm sorry, disc drive, Blu-ray, USB-C. Plug it into the front of this console if you really want to use this. Here it is, and it's going to cost you $100, and it's going to be super niche, and not many people are going to care about it. But it appeases both sides of this. It's like, this is where we want to go, but we're not going to cut you guys out,
Mhm.
and everybody's happy.
I don't think you can do that jump that fast without it being bad PR for Xbox. And I think Xbox will avoid it just because of the bad PR. Like, I do think what you're saying 100% is likely to happen. I just don't think it'll be an immediate transition of putting that out and then stopping production of the Series X. Because that, even if it is 85% of the consumer is digital, that 15%, the media 100% will just eat Xbox up for that 15%.
I think
Same.
they will only eat them up if they don't have a solution. There's only if there
disagree.
is no
It's like
who
the,
like
the,
and-
the article writes itself. Xbox stops supporting a. It happens with iPhone all the time when iPhone decided
Yeah.
to switch how the headphones work. Like they eat them up. The difference is iPhone's leading in everything. Xbox is not leading in everything.
But Xbox, what are Xbox leading in though? Services, Game Pass, the things that they actually care about. Look, as much as I agree with you that this will be somewhat some bad PR, I do think there's an easy spin on this, which is yes, we have got rid of the disk drive. We are looking for an all digital future. But for those who are still into physical media, here is our $100 Blu-ray drive. Like they're not stopping you from being able to use it. They are just stopping you from being able to physically. And you said something interesting, which is stopping the Series X. They're not stopping the Series X. They are transitioning the Series X into what they actually want it to be. This is what the Series X is now. No, Matt?
I think they call it Series X all digital or da 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 da. Like I still think they sell the Series X normal. I still even think we probably get special editions of the Series X and special editions of the Series X that all digital.
How many special editions, other than limited, like make 50 consoles or whatever special editions have they made for the Series X?
I think it's just Halo, isn't it? Or did they do
Yeah.
a Forza one?
They did the
No,
Porsche
just-
one.
No,
That
you
was
couldn't
just-
just
that
buy
was-
that. That was just
No,
like
no.
they've sent out.
That's what I'm
He's
saying.
talking
Like, don't include
specifically,
those.
Okay.
They had-
not the limited. Like there's a new Party Animal Series S, right?
Yeah.
You're not talking about
They-
that.
Yeah, no. The ones where it's like, hey, you can
want
go
that
on
so much.
Amazon or the Microsoft Store and buy them.
Yeah,
They haven't done
Just
a whole
Halo,
lot.
I think. I think it's
Mm.
just Halo.
Barbie for the Series S? Could you
That was
buy
a
Barbie?
sweepstake.
No, I think that was a
thing.
That was a
sweepskate.
sweepstakes. A
Yeah,
lot of those are sweepstakes.
So
They
it's
did a
just
lot.
Halo.
Like they had a Sonic one, no? Or was Sonic? just
yeah.
the
There was
controller?
there was a Sonic one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Did
So
they
I
do
don't-
one for Starfield?
No, just did the rap.
They just did a wrap, yeah.
Oh yeah, you would
I
definitely.
think
do
wraps are their new things. Like with Sony as well. Sony started doing the plates as well. I think that's where they're moving because it's cheaper
Yeah.
to do.
We will
That's-
talk
that's-
about design in consoles in a little bit because there's some
Yeah.
information on that in this
Yeah.
as well. I
Ooh
think.
la la.
Well, we'll move on. We'll move along because there's plenty here to. Well, this is where we'll get into the design labs bit. So good transition, Crash. We got specs on these consoles, which I don't quite understand. I am not that guy, you know. I see 4 teraflops. I see
Teraflops.
information. The most important information here for me is the Xbox Series X in XDL, which we would assume is Xbox Design Labs,
Yeah.
Yes.
meaning you'll be able to get a customized version of this new Series X. And I'm even seeing it in these documents, which is like Series X, and then the Design Lab Series X. They're separated as well, right? Like, do you think this confirms that that's going to happen?
I think it confirms that in 2020 or whenever this came out that it was an idea. I
That's
think
true.
whether it actually happens, it depends how well their facility or whatever they do print out the parts to develop them is, and maybe that's why it is the circular shape. Maybe it's just easier to print out those parts so that they could put it in design labs or something like that as well.
think it looks sleeker. I've got to be honest. I just think it looks better circular.
I don't
like
think
it.
The cube is so cubey. I don't like it. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I've never loved the look of the Series X, the current Series X. The new one looks way better, in my opinion.
You'll know I love a flip flop. I'm actually jumping on your side of the train now, having seen this second slide, which
Ah.
says Xbox Series X, Brooklyn. Like that's
Brooklyn's
what that
the
is.
code name. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what they're denoting here. Is
Yeah.
that it's
Yeah.
all
What
digital,
was-
and they're just calling it Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
All right, I was wrong.
We got him. He
they're, gonna,
flip-flopped.
they're gonna double down.
No, well, they called it Xbox. What was the Scorpion edition or whatever? And what did it end up being
Xbox
called?
One
again?
X.
Yeah. So it
Mhm.
doesn't.
Yeah.
You're not
That was
wrong.
Xbox One to Xbox One X.
No, but I
Yeah,
think
you're
what
not-
if
What-
I'm just gonna put words in Matt's mouth. I'm
Good,
assuming
Matt.
what
Go
Matt is
back to your
saying
other
is,
opinion.
is that there's not a version here for the current
Yes.
Series X. They've just got the
No.
Brooklyn, so this is going to be the replacement. Yeah.
I know. It's almost like I did the research before the show.
Yeah, and I didn't.
What's research?
Told everyone to. I told everyone to.
I did. I just didn't look at it hard enough. I guess.
But okay, so would anybody be interested in a Xbox Series X custom designed by yourself?
So I went. So for people who don't know, I recently broke my Xbox controller. I spilled coffee on it, completely ruined it. I had to buy a new controller, right?
Uh-huh.
And the first thing I did was I ran right to Design Labs. I was like, I'm gonna design a controller, and the price went from like $60 for a controller to like $90+ for a controller. And I was like, I'm going on Amazon and I'm buying myself a normal controller. No, I'm not interested. The price, I can just imagine what the price would be like. I'm not interested in that. Unless they're like, this is the only way you can get your limited edition Gears of War Xbox, is that for a limited amount of time, you can go into Design Labs and buy that special edition,
Yeah.
whatever it is. Only way I do it. Otherwise, absolutely not.
I know they did it for I think Redfall. Wait, less said about that, the better. But I know they did the custom plates within Design
they
Labs
did.
for a little bit of time for your
Mhm.
standard controllers. I don't know if they're still in there. To be fair, you'd have to double check. I always just look at the series, like the Elite for Design Labs. Also, just as a side note, if anyone from Xbox is listening, fix your Design Labs. I tried to order a controller and I kept getting a region error. No way for me to fix it. You just lost out on a sale. Well done. I made the
Well.
sleekest series, like Elite Series 2 controller. I was so happy. Went to order it. Went, no.
How
No,
much? How much would it have cost?
I think it came into, because I didn't order the extra parts because I already have them. Because again, yeah, I broke my Elite controller. I think it was about 170. But I went all out on that, and I think the standard one is like 150. So, yeah, I mean, I've still got it. It sits up there now. But
Mm.
yeah. I mean, we could both share controllers.
Yeah, that's just a regular controller. That's not an Elite controller.
You say a regular. It's a Starfield controller. Damn it.
Oh wow,
Um,
Fix, you got a bunch of special controllers. That's so cool.
Wow, that's
Thank you,
that's
thank you, I
that's so
appreciate that.
nice. Oh, what's that? We're losing Fix. Oh no.
So yeah, I'll be honest, I've never really been into the whole customization thing.
Yeah.
I think it's the poor kid in me, if I'm honest. Like
I-
that, like I generally mean that. Like that it's the poor person in me, and where I'm like, the thing can do the same thing but look different. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not paying more. I'm not paying more for that.
That's exactly what went through my head when I went through everything and I saw the price. I was like, "There's
Yeah.
no chance. I can't. I just can't." I get
But
that way sometimes when I'm ordering food. I look at the price at the end. I'm like, I'm
100%.
ordering food today.
Oh, I've
Yeah,
done that.
great.
Yeah.
Would you, Crash? Like, did you have a thought in your mind when you saw the final price of your new design controller? Did you go, well, for a few extra bucks, I could get an Elite? Because I think
No, I
that's
didn't even
kind of
think
what
about
they're
the
trying to
Elite.
do.
I
That
didn't
didn't
think
cross your
about
mind?
the
Okay.
No,
I
no.
kind
When I
of
see
think
the
that's what they're
price,
trying to do, though.
I'm like, for that price, I can go all out with the controller I'm making, and then I look at the price at the end. I'm like, I'm not even gonna bother with this price at the end of the day.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
But
in
I-
my head, I just can't justify that. Right, sorry, go on,
Mm-mm.
Matt, go on.
No, but that's like a classic marketing strategy. Similar, like Apple do this all the
I
time.
don't-
It's like, oh, just for an extra $100 though, get the
Yeah.
next thing. Get the next thing.
I don't think that's the case with Xbox because Xbox doesn't push you into upgrading the Elite control to the Elite controller.
No.
From what I saw, what I will say, like that sort of marketing is if you when you're making because I looked at the Elite controller afterwards as well just to see what the price would be. When you are making the Elite controller, they do push you towards buying all the paddles and all the
Yes.
extra bits with that. So that's where I see that sort of marketing. I don't think the upgrade from a regular controller to an Elite controller is there, at least in a way that I would call sort of that marketing push for it.
Yeah, there's no like, here's your controller, click this button to make it an Elite version.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I do think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Redfall controller options were only for elites.
No.
Is that wrong?
Yeah, I didn't see it in the Elite at all. I think it was just a standard.
You think they would waste an Elite controller on Redfall stuff? Come
I
on,
thought
man.
Redfall was gonna be, bro. Who? You know what? No,
They
don't-
did so
we've got too
much-
much.
move on,
to
move
talk
on,
about.
move
We've
on.
got too much to talk about. We got too much to talk about. We can't. We are talking about controllers, so let's talk about the brand new Xbox controller. This was kind of. There's been the other thing that reason why I feel like this is all real as well is like there's been conversations about a lot of stuff in which we're talking about that was kind of leaked. A new controller. Phil Spencer had come out and said, yeah, we really like what Sony was doing with the haptic feedbacks and things like that. We are going to look into it. This brand new controller, I think the code name is it Sebel?
Sebile?
Sebile, thank you. Sebile. This is their new controller. It is from the slides we got here, right? You lift to wake, which is a huge feature. For people who don't know what that is, Despawn, do you understand how it works, or not your forte? To me, it's just like your phone, right? Like literally, it's like a case of you lift your phone up, it turns on. It's like it's down, it's the battery saving. It's not operating. You lift up, okay, I'm on, I'm awake. Here we go. Let's start doing the things we want to do with it.
Yeah, it's basically a standby mode for a controller.
Which, when you say it like that, doesn't sound impressive. But I actually think I actually think this is quite a good feature that they're adding.
I disagree. I think even like that, it sounds very, very impressive. You know how many times I just leave my controller on and I'm like, oh wow, I wasted so much battery. I plug it to charge it, so it's not that big of a deal. But if I could just put it down and just turn off on its own and then I pick it up, like imagine how much battery life a lot of people end up saving. It's one of those things similar to like quick resume on Xbox. I haven't played Xbox in so long. Quick resume, it's sort of like one of those where it's a very overlooked feature. I could see 100% people not really mention that, but that'd be one of the big pushing points for one of those controllers. Like this controller, I think I would get no matter what.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is very much like, so use case example, maybe using your Xbox to watch Netflix. You put it down for 2 hours while you're watching a film, and then you pick it up and it just automatically is ready to go. It's like one of those little quality of life additions that, like Crash says, like it's overlooked. But it becomes second nature after a while, and when you start going back to the old controller, you realize how much you miss it.
The other new things here: durable thumbsticks, so new and improved thumbsticks. Again, I feel like this. Again, people watching the video version, you'll be able to tell more than others, but it looks like a cross between an Elite controller and a basic controller with all these new features, which is really cool. You've got the rechargeable and swappable batteries in this, which is good. This is something we've been asking for a really long time from Xbox, which is huge. Again, they're talking about the sustainability again, all recycled materials and things like that. And then a couple of things that people obviously actually want to care about. They've got Play Anywhere here, Xbox Wireless 2, Direct-to-Clad, Bluetooth 5.2. You know, pretty much basic stuff that we kind of expect. They want people to be using this with their iPhones. We want people to be using this with whatever. They want this to be the go-to controller for the entire industry, like the Xbox 360 controller was.
I have a question. How do you guys feel about the look? The little line, how it looks
The
up,
two-tone.
I think.
Yeah. So this one hits me. Do you remember the meme that went around like last year? Like, how does a so-and-so wear a pair of trousers? It looks like that. It's like, how does an Xbox controller wear a pair of trousers? It's like this.
Oh wow, I can't unsee that image now.
Yep.
That controller's just wearing pants.
It's just wearing pants.
So the problem is, again, I'm not thinking about it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Is the problem. I don't mean not in like a disrespectful way, but like I care about how it functions. I don't care about how it looks. I agree with you. Not the prettiest controller.
I would get one in black. I would not have it in white.
Like
I
it looks
also
like,
I wouldn't be surprised if this is not like finalized design for the controller, like visually.
100%. Again, for people listening to the podcast, you kind of have imagine the Elite bottom of the controller with the what is it? I don't know what material it is they use.
No,
Well, like the rubberized
Um,
grips. Yeah.
Like the rub. Thank
Despawn-
you.
Despawn already explained it. It's just a controller wearing pants. What are you
Yeah.
doing,
Well,
Fix?
yeah. I
And
say,
then
what do you
it's
mean?
got the front plate, I guess
It's
you
like a
would call
gloss
it. It's a
finish.
glossy white finish.
White t-shirt. Yeah.
They got the new and improved D-pad on there, and like I say,
I hate-
thumbsticks and stuff like
can I-
that.
Can I be honest? I hate that D-pad. I'm not a fan.
Yeah. No, I always use the normal D-pad rather than that one.
I like it more than the original. I think
No.
you're thinking the Elite, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Like,
with
I'm
the
talking- I'm
elite, you
talking
can swap
about-
it out.
this is-
But
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm talking
Even-
about this
I-
one. We're using the controller. What one
I
of
prefer this over that.
no?
I hate
that's
I hate
the same thing.
No.
let me show you.
Yeah,
Wow, you're right. I'm stupid. I hate
no,
it.
that's
I just like it.
100% the same thing.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I prefer that one.
That's the one.
No,
I prefer that. I don't know why my
no,
mind
bro.
goes.
I don't even use that one. Look, I use the.
No.
Nah, most games I've been playing Mortal Kombat.
Matt just looks
We have it on
confused.
Xbox.
Like, they're
Uh,
different
I-
D-pads?
I hate those. Those D-pads suck on.
Yeah.
for
I'm
fighting
having a
games.
moment.
Uh-oh.
What does
Go on,
the
talk to me.
button? What does the button in the middle do?
Wait, we're getting to
Uh,
that. If you just hold up, we're getting to it. We're getting to it.
Okay.
We're getting to it. We're getting to it. Moving on. Again, here's the look. It's got seamlessly pair and switch. New mobile app features. See and pair devices and clad managed devices and accessories. That is huge because there is nothing more infuriating to me with the Xbox controllers. I have Haley and me trying to play Baldur's Gate. Yeah, I know. Copium for me because she keeps making plans, not wanting to play games.
How dare she?
There's nothing worse than connecting the Xbox controller to the laptop and then wanting to use it on the Xbox and having to resync it every goddamn time. I must be doing something wrong because every goddamn time I have to do this. It is so annoying.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to. If you double tap the connectivity button on the controller, it will
Yeah.
connect to the device it was previously connected to.
I don't know because every time I just plug out my controller, it just automatically turns on my Xbox. So
Yeah.
it
My
automatically
go.
connects to
I'm
my
gonna say my
Xbox.
go-to is I'm wired for a PC and then wireless for Xbox.
So yeah, so
Wow.
if you pair
Yeah,
it to your
that's how I
Xbox
do
and
it.
Xbox and you're playing on your Xbox,
yeah.
then you connect it to your PC to play on your PC. Double tap the connectivity button, it'll go back to your Xbox. Double tap the connectivity button, it'll go back to your PC.
Either way, I like this app. It's gonna make
Well,
it
I'm-
easy
I'm
for
testing
dum-dums
that.
like me. Yeah, that's huge. That's huge, though, man. That's
Yeah.
huge. And then the last thing is immersion on this slide. We're talking about haptic feedback. On the haptic feedback isn't in the triggers on this, right?
Yeah.
I've been on the
There's-
triggers and talk to me. Go on.
So it's the PlayStation. It's the
Yeah,
PlayStation controller.
is.
So when you like firing a bow off, it's like you have to press down harder
Yeah.
to fire it. Is I think what they're going for.
Okay.
I don't know. Like it's pointing to the grips.
But I don't think
No, I don't think it has
because the
anything to do with
haptic
the grip.
feedback, the haptic feedbacks on the PlayStation controller are throughout the whole controller. It's not just
Okay.
the
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like if it's like raining in a game, you'll feel like the rumble in the grips as well and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
tell you what, Gresh, I don't. You know why? Because I turn that shit off.
Why?
Can't stand it.
It's not
Stand
most
it.
games. It's just such like an added thing of like we're gonna make it and we're gonna make it noticeable, and it never adds anything to
Bro,
it for
mhm.
95% of the games.
I'm fat. I don't want to work out while playing games. All right. I just want to play the goddamn game. I don't
You-
want. I hate it. I hate it with a passion.
Oh, no,
the
that
resistant triggers and all
Mhm.
of it.
I
It
will say
annoys
there's-
me.
some games that do it interesting. Like I know,
Yeah.
in Ratchet and Clank, one of the guns, like depending on which strength you pushed it at, the gun did different stuff. So there's some games that do
Returnal.
interesting stuff with it. Most games don't do anything interesting with it, and it's just a waste.
Spider-Man was cool. We have to admit, Spider-Man was cool. I think it's. Do you know what I think it is? I think it's bows. Bows are the one that annoyed me the most. I
turned
don't
it off
like.
Spider-Man.
Oh, interesting.
Was
Huh.
not a fan.
Interesting. To answer your question, though, Matt, the new button in the middle, from the research in which I know, is believed to be the cloud button.
But so I was gonna say, is that a new
No.
button?
No.
Yes.
And you
No.
held up your controllers.
Yes,
The
They all
controller
have it.
has- no, it's the share button.
There's a middle button right in
but
the middle.
it's-
It's the
has
share
three
button.
buttons.
But okay, sure, cool. Is that in the same place?
I mean, it's a
No.
little bit
It's a
lower.
brand new controller.
It's not in the same place, so it's a different bloody button.
I'm
No,
not sure that that's
No.
true.
it's
I-
not. The grips aren't even the same with that controller from this controller.
Oh, there's a button right there. Right.
It's the
Okay.
it's the cloud button. They're calling it a cloud button.
It's a share
Ooh,
button.
did Microsoft?
I would
call it a
love
cloud
that.
button?
I'm calling it the fucking cloud button.
Microsoft didn't call it a cloud button. That's just hearsay and
Okay,
rumors, and
I'm
we don't
calling you out.
speculate on hearsay
No.
and rumors on this
Yes, we
podcast.
do. That's
do
all
all the
we
time.
do. That's literally all we do. Otherwise, we
No.
don't have a show.
But I would love that. Make a little cloud button.
Okay.
No point. Nobody uses cloud.
I mean, I played Starfield on my Xbox One X with it.
Oh, sorry
Have
for
you
you,
actually
mate.
done that?
I'm not
I'd
talking
love-
to
I'd think
Despawn
you've-
for this podcast.
You've actually done that?
Yeah.
Why?
Because my One X is downstairs, and if I want to sit on the sofa and play games, then I
And-
can carry
and
on
what
playing
was the
Starfield.
experience like? Tell me.
Totally fine.
Totally fine.
Love
Great.
that. Totally
Some would say
fine.
great.
No, I
Someone-
wouldn't, I
he
wouldn't say
said totally
great.
fine.
I said it
no,
was.
he said
It was
totally
fine.
fine.
It was fine.
Some would say better. Better than the PC or X Series X.
To-
No,
to
no
bring
one
us
would
back
ever
around-
say that. You would say that.
To bring us
And
back
you're a
around,
madman.
are we excited for this new controller? Obviously, new features. Obviously, getting us sort of in parallel with PlayStation's controller. Hoping that more third-party devs are going to utilize it now that it's not just for one system as well.
Mhm. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently it's
only
good.
only gripe I have is with the design, but at the end of the day, like,
D-
does the
just-
design really matter?
Just think
No.
of all the different like
Pants they could wear.
custom pants you can get for it. Yeah.
Just imagine it looks like this, but with the black bit.
Yeah, no,
there
that's
instead.
still
That
ugly.
looks fine.
That's no.
No,
No.
what?
I like it.
You're
My
a
only
dickhead.
problem, yeah, I gotta say, my only problem with this design for the Elite is the fact that the rubberized grips come off. Like mine's, you can't really tell, but it's
Yeah.
peeling away.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's a rubberized clip. Wow,
Say it again.
rubberized grip,
Mhm.
Yeah.
or if that's just a matte finish on the grips so that they're not glossy and like slipping out.
No, that's a rubberized.
They
grip.
look
yeah.
rubberized if you zoom in.
Do
So
they?
it's kind of
Yes.
low quality, but
Yes.
yeah,
Okay. I'll trust. I will trust you guys with that.
yeah, definitely.
You are smart to do so.
So this would be the controller that is coming in the box of the Xbox Series X
Yep.
Brooklyn.
refresh.
Cylinder.
Yeah.
And we don't know how much it cost.
The controller on its own.
I imagine like an extra 10, 20 quid. Like,
Do you
same
think?
with it. Well,
There's
yeah.
a lot of features.
Yeah.
What's the,
I-
what's the PlayStation controller at? What's the one of those
79,
cost?
I think.
80?
Then that's what I
Yeah.
think it is.
Yeah.
Well,
I think 80. Even if they
Rem-
eat some cost
I-
on it.
100%.
That's fair.
Again, being more expensive than your competitors right now when you're in third
Not the
place,
move.
which you said is not the move.
No.
Yeah.
So
I think the
So
fact that
yours-
this includes, as well as like the parity with the PlayStation controller with the haptics, like you've got to remember like the direct to cloud and things like that is a good bonus.
Yeah.
To have on top. So if they can come in at the same price with extra features, makes total sense to me.
agreed.
We didn't mention is somehow the haptic feedback doubles as a speaker. Interesting.
Well, that's why I think it's definitely the rubber. I think it's going to be in that. If you've ever, this how nerdy it gets. If you ever opened the Xbox controller, there are plenty of places they can fit some speakers on these things
Sure.
very easily. Like
Mhm.
it's not even, it's not hard at all. I
just
hate
wanna
the,
know.
I hate the speaker thing. By the way, hate it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
Turn
just
it
want to
off,
know how
100%.
easy it is to disable the speaker.
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah.
Oh, I really like the speaker thing. I hate that the PlayStation has a mic in it.
No.
The
Yeah.
PlayStation controller has a
I-
microphone in it. It's the
I hate
worst
the mic
thing
and the
ever.
speaker.
Should I tell you
I love
why
the
I hate the
speaker.
speaker? Because I'm a game. I play with a headset on, not all of the time, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
All of the time. So unless they figured out how to get that noises out coming out of the controller into my headset without me having to plug in, it's dumb.
Sure.
Like I've had it where Haley's just like, "Why is your controller speaking?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" When I played like, what was it? NBA actually, I think it was.
Mhm.
And I'm like, "What?" And I take my headphone off, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, it is. I didn't even notice." Like dumb,
You're getting
dumb, 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 dumb.
Agreed.
That is
I
dumb.
like that
it.
because it means people can trash talk me and I can't hear it. It's great. Which we'll get into
But
when
yeah.
we're talking about like what's in our box. I tried ranked on Mortal Kombat. Whoops.
Okay, we'll talk. Yeah, sure. Well, we've still got more coming out of this league. Yeah, it doesn't stop there. We're on to the game section, guys. Bethesda Games release schedule kind of was leaked. You got financial year from 20 to 24. a lot of this, some of this is coming out, some of this, or it has been out, sorry. Some of this didn't make it. There's probably been delays. So we'll run through it real quick. 2020, you had Doom Eternal, DLC, Elder Scrolls Online expansion, Fallout Wastelands, and Deathloop. Out of that, Doom, all of that came out, if I'm not mistaken, other than Fallout Wastelands would have been Fallout 76.
76.
right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there was a Wasteland. I don't remember the name of the DLC, but it might be Wastelanders. But there was definitely DLC
yeah.
for Fallout.
So all of that came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you had, they've got something on here for free to play / mobile, which is Project Whirlwind.
No idea.
Don't know.
So from, again, I was listening to Unlocks yesterday. From what I've understood, Project, I don't know what, I can't remember which one it was. One of these projects is being worked on. Well, let me keep going through. I'll figure it out. All right. Then 2021, Starfield obviously got delayed. Elder Scrolls expansion that came out. Redfall came out. But it ended up coming out this year,
2022,
right?
Yeah.
It got delayed into
Well, it
this
might
year.
have. No, yeah, it wouldn't have hit the 21.
It wasn't 20.
maybe
Again,
2022,
financial years
50.
are always different, but yeah,
It's
it
March
ends
to
up getting
March for-
delayed.
yeah.
Doom Eternal DLC. I don't think that ended up happening. I don't think there was any DLC, was there?
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
there
Plenty of
was?
DLC, yeah.
Oh,
tons of
okay,
DLC
okay.
for that.
Not my thing. Ghostwire Tokyo ended up coming out. Fallout. No, so okay. Fallout Worlds is Fallout 76. Not Fallout. I don't know what the Wasteland thing was then. So Fallout Worlds ended up coming out, and then Project
Hibiki?
Hibiki, yeah, Hibiki, which
No idea.
I don't think we know what that is.
Is that not
Um,
Hi-Fi Rush?
Oh, yes, yes.
Don't say
That
yes
makes
like
sense.
that.
That makes sense.
Don't say yes like that, because that was like,
Yes,
oh,
that is
yeah, you're right,
100%
yeah.
correct. Yeah,
We don't know what
Thank
it
you,
is.
guys. Thank you.
No, I think you're. I 100% think you're right.
makes sense.
Doesn't happen often.
Yeah. Moving on. 2020. You got Indiana Jones on here. Obviously, hasn't delayed. Oblivion remaster. I guess this is where we
Big thing, because a lot of people have been getting confused. That says a remaster. Stop thinking a remake, please, everybody.
wait. But I disagree with you.
No, I
So,
disagree with you.
well, you can hear me out or what?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. When was this? We say this was probably made in 2020, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
When did Resident Evil 1 remake come out?
Resident Evil 2 remake, do you mean?
Sorry, Resident Evil 2 remake. Thank you.
2019?
What year did that come out? Okay.
Was
So we only think of remakes in the way of we think of remakes because of Resident Evil. Now, they have shown what a
Yes, I agree with
remake
that.
of a game is now instead of a remaster, right? Do you
Yeah.
think maybe the wording in this document could have just meant remake?
No.
And because I just don't see why that was. Who cares about playing Oblivion in
A lot. Of people.
A lot of people.
How many times did they put out Skyrim?
I understand that, but what I'm saying
Remaster
is,
Oblivion, and people would go crazy for it.
You remaster Oblivion and had Creation Club to that. People are gonna go nuts.
I think you're thinking a little bit too hard on this. Of like why you don't care about this.
oh, I couldn't give two craps
I
about
think
most of this.
Bethesda doesn't care about remaking this game when they
Mhm.
could just put out, especially back then, they could just put out a remaster for it
Yeah.
and make bank on it.
But this is now going to be okay. Now we put on our hats. This is going to be a game that comes out in 2024 now, right?
Yeah.
And we're
Assuming
going to
that it's
sit
still
here on
getting made.
this. I think it is.
Do you- I don't know if they do make bank on it because it's already in Game Pass. Like
Not a remaster.
not a remaster, no, but the remaster will come to Game Pass.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Yeah.
getting Game Pass to play the remaster. If you're interested in replaying it, you've probably already done it in the last couple of years because it's on Game Pass and it's backward compatible onto everything. Like, I don't know if it's a mover and shaker in the way that it was in 2019 or 2020.
I
Yeah.
think a remake is for someone like me, right? I never played
agree.
Oblivion when it came out. A remake, I'm like, oh my god, I'm interested. A
if they're
remaster,
doing-
I
If
don't
they're
care.
doing a remake, why even bother with Elder Scrolls 6 at that point? Because like
It's
to
two
make a
different
good remake,
games.
to make a
Then
good
what?
remake, you'd have to put a bunch of effort
Wait,
into
stop.
it.
Wait, are we just gonna let
No,
them get
no,
away with
no,
that
no,
one?
no,
Are we
we're
letting them get
not.
away with that? Like,
You
no,
what?
also
no.
have bad takes. That was
Go ahead,
horrendous.
go
That's
ahead.
awful. That's an
Argue
awful
against it.
take.
It's the
So,
same way,
but
like,
wait,
oh,
wait.
let's just remake all of the Resident Evil games and not bother with Resident Evil 9, which we all know is going to be the
No,
best
no.
Resident Evil game ever made.
100%. How much time does
Facts.
Bethesda take to put out a game?
3 to 4 years.
So you want to remake? You want a remake of
Minimum.
Oblivion, yes?
Yeah.
For ground
Not
up.
just a remaster where you upgrade some of the textures and some of the features
To
and stuff
be,
like that.
they're not mutually
Yes.
exclusive. It just because we're remaking Oblivion doesn't mean we're not also working on Elder Scrolls 6.
Exactly.
Could be
They're a
anything.
big enough studio.
Elder Scrolls
Yeah.
6 just went into early production, yeah?
Yeah, it's just kind of pre-production.
Yeah.
Well, production. Yeah.
Okay. I disagree with this. I do think, unless you're telling me that Bethesda's not making this and it's somebody else under ZeniMax making
Are
it,
we confusing how big Bethesda is all of a sudden?
I guess.
Yeah. And
Like,
again, there's no
Did
guarantee that
Bethesda-
it's.
Did Bethesda not just become a small company? What happened here? What's
I'm not
going
saying
on?
Bethesda's a small company.
Tiny indie studio. No one ever heard of them.
I'm just saying Bethesda notoriously takes a lot of time to put out games. They don't put out games at a fast rate. And if you're telling me they're going to put that much effort into Elder Scrolls game, why even have why would Elder Scrolls 6 be in pre-production if they're going to be putting that much effort? We're talking about like remake 2, Resident Evil remake 2 level of quality, right? Final
Yeah.
Fantasy Rebirth level of quality, right?
Yeah.
I just don't see it happening personally.
No, I don't agree. I think I don't think it'll be that level of quality. I don't think they're gonna
Okay.
like fundamentally change the game or like change stories or
I agree.
add things or anything like
Okay.
that. I think it will be a
Graphical.
remake in the sense a massive
No,
Last of Us
graphical
1.
overhaul.
Last of Us 1. Last of Us 1. That's like the perfect example.
Okay, then if that's what you guys are thinking, I'm more in line with you guys then.
That is
'Cause in my
technically still a
mind, when you
remake.
say remake, you're correct. But in my mind, when you're saying remake, I'm thinking about like you reimagine this game in like
No,
modern
no, no, no,
generation.
no,
No,
no.
Okay,
no,
I
no.
think,
we're
like,
just
you
on different
get-
pages. Okay,
I think you probably get like UI changes, quality of life changes, like that have learned
Okay.
from Skyrim
I
and
was-
Starfield even and stuff like that.
I was thinking they get like really nitty and gritty with it.
No.
Right?
No.
Like, you
No.
just do like a massive.
Best
okay.
case scenario, classic Oblivion in the new creation engine. That'd be about it. Just
Sure.
if they can convert all of the current assets and just give them the the upgrade that they need, that maybe.
The point is, there's already modders out there that have done this
Yeah.
and made Oblivion look like a 2023 game. Bethesda can definitely do it. Some of the mods out there are crazy, bro. You're pulling faces, but trust me.
Looking like a 2023 game and feeling like a 2023 game are different. But then
Oh,
again,
yeah,
Bethesda
100%
games
different.
don't feel like 2023 games.
Yeah, I'm
so
gonna
you're
say
right.
yeah. Bethesda games don't feel
I was
like
gonna
they're
say,
a modern game.
Redfall, yeah, that feels great for a 2023 game. Let me tell you. Anyway,
Okay.
moving on.
Moving on.
Elder Scrolls expansion, another one we always expect in that. Starfield DLC, we all expect that to happen.
We
Uh,
know.
yeah,
I
but
mean, we know it's
expected it
happening.
to come out before
Yeah.
before the game even launched. So.
Well, no, because this
Yeah.
is from
Well,
2020.
no,
remember?
because yeah, this is it got
Yeah, yeah,
delayed,
no, I
so-
know.
It
It's
won't
just
come
funny
out.
to
It's
Yeah.
still, yeah.
It's just funny to me that they were predicting Starfield DLC, and then what actually happened is Starfield wasn't even out at this point.
But I mean,
Well,
they
no, we're
predicted
still in
Starfield to be
fiscal
fiscal
year
year 21.
2022.
So you talked over each other. Can you hear?
Oh, I said we are still in fiscal year 2022. So this could still happen.
But it's not gonna.
I mean,
I
we
don't think so.
it has been confirmed we are getting a DLC expansion. Like
Yes,
that's
because it was
happening.
included in
Yeah.
your 3 days early access or whatever.
But yeah, but
Yep.
no, what you're saying here is that we're not like DLC. From this, like Starfield came out a year before,
Yeah, exactly.
so
Yeah.
like yeah,
It's
we're
just
gonna
funny.
get.
It's
Okay.
just funny to me.
Okay. Next up, we've got a thing called Doom Year Zero, and DLC, which you would assume that's a brand new Doom title coming.
Mm.
Id working on we've Id have not worked on something for a while now, right? When did Doom Eternal
announced
come out?
something.
2019.
Around then, I think. Yeah.
So they're due to release something. So Doom Year Zero could be that. Project Kestrel is also on here. One of these, I can't remember which one it is, but one of these games are being worked on by the same team that does Elder Scrolls Online, and is a massive MMO game, brand new IP. One of these projects, I can't remember which one it is. Well, again, I
Where
was
did that
listening
come
to
from? Just
I was
IGN.
listening to Unlocked, and Destin Legary said that there's an interview out there. There's job listings for it and everything. So We're not
It
really
is.
going to have ZeniMax working on ZeniMax Online. Are not working on the next Gears of War game, are they? Let's be honest, lad. We know what they make.
Gears Online, let's do it.
Oi,
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 oi.
oi,
Gears of War
oi,
MMO, you in?
Oi, I'm in. You know, I would love that. But yeah, so I don't know if it's Project Kestrel or maybe Project Platinum, which is also on this list. But
It's
one of these are.
It's probably Kestrel because you have Kestrel, and the next year you have Project Kestrel expansion. So I
Yeah.
think that would
So
fit for MMO.
yeah.
That
So
makes
yeah,
sense.
sorry, 2023. This is all. So you've got another expansion as well, and then lastly for 2024, you've got Elder Scrolls 6. Definitely not gonna happen. Project Kestrel, a licensed IP game. What do we think that could be?
I can't think of anything I would want it to be.
No,
From Bethesda? No, me either.
no. Maybe one of the random Marvel IPs that keeps getting thrown around.
Yeah, I was
I
going
could
to
see
say a
them doing a
Marvel
nice-
thing.
I could see them doing a nice Marvel game.
Bethesda Marvel.
I mean,
game?
Yeah, you got to remember,
I
it doesn't
will,
have
to
to
be
be Bethesda
fair-
Game Studio. It could be
Yeah, I was
one
gonna
of
say
any
it
of the
could
others.
be. It could be something else.
Sure, I guess.
Do you think also, though, I mean, they were also planning to already have Indiana Jones out by this point?
That's on
Maybe
the list.
because that's not
He-
happened now. They're like, fuck off the other licensed IP or whatever. Just
No,
get Indiana Jones out.
No,
I think
they're not
I think
gonna
getting
trip.
licenses is quite hard, and if you've got something there, it's still there. I think personally, like even with delays and stuff like that, like paying for licenses and things like that aren't cheap, as we
Yeah.
all know.
It's fair.
So I still think this next licensed IP game definitely exists. Next up, you had Fallout 3 remaster. Once again, I don't believe it's a remaster. I believe it's a remake. And that would get me excited because I never played Fallout 3.
Everybody,
Good.
temper your expectations. This is remaster.
Let's not get into a 5-minute argument about what remaster and remake means. Elder Scrolls Online expansion. We knew that was
No,
coming.
and no one excited for Fallout 3?
Nah.
I am. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
You'd love a remake, right?
I always say this, like Fallout 3, probably my favorite game of all time, but because it was 14-year-old Matt playing that game.
Yeah.
Like, this Matt
Are you
doesn't
worried that
have time.
it would shatter your perception of the game?
Well, that's also a very good point. Like, is it better left to
Yes,
14-year-old
untouched.
Matt to reminisce about that thing than it
Mm-hmm.
is to go back and be like, oh, this is way more rough than I remember it being? Which may be the case, right? I very, very fondly remember that game. Maybe I don't want to mess with that memory.
I'm going to say something controversial. I'm fine not having the VAT system in games anymore.
No, you're wrong. That is the stupidest
I-
thing you've ever said.
I think you
Oh,
need
it's
it,
not.
Fallout.
No,
No, he
I
said
reckon.
some dumb shit, trust me.
I've
I've
done- yeah.
told him a lot.
I've-
Genuinely, if there's a mod that comes around, which I'm sure will, that adds VATs into Starfield, I would be tempted to switch to PC and use that
No, I'm
and
good.
have that.
You wouldn't switch to PC because you have to start again.
No, I'd be tempted to start again.
Oh,
No,
wow.
your save
And
would
play it
probably
with
carry
VATs.
over.
No, it doesn't. I tried.
Not on Steam.
Doesn't it carry over from
I told
Steam
you,
to-
like, that's not how it works. I knew it wasn't.
Then a Game Pass PC, it carries over.
Mm-hmm. I fucked
Bearing
up.
in mind though, also I haven't actually put that much time into Starfield still. You know, so like I could happily move over and start over at this point.
Start shouting at him, everybody. You shout at me. You shout at me. Shout at him for not playing your game of the year. Don't shout. I ain't looking. Whatever. Anyway,
It's not
Lies of
playing
P is
that
game of the
game.
year.
moving
Really
on.
not. Really not.
Ghostwire Tokyo apparently getting a sequel. I imagine that's been cancelled. I imagine they assumed that was going to do way better than it did. And then after seeing how well Hi-Fi Rush has done, I can see
Also-
that getting a sequel way more than Ghostwire
Also,
Tokyo.
What's the name of your favorite guy fix that left? the
Shinji
studio?
Mikami.
Yeah, without him, possibly like that could be something that they had planned on working out, and then he leaves, and it's sort of like, do
Yeah.
we still want to make this without him?
I generally think I love Shinji Mikami. Don't get me wrong. I still think that studio can make those type of games.
No, that's not what I'm
with-
saying.
with no
I'm
problem.
saying
Yeah, I know what
not
you're
that
saying.
they can't make it, but like without him at the head, like is that something
Do
the
they
team
want
would
to?
want to work on, right?
Shinji Mikami made Resident Evil 2.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 came out and everyone loved it even more. Did he work on 4? I can't remember. I don't
I
think,
think
so.
he did. Did he
I don't
not?
think he did. I thought
it
no,
not
you're
the
right.
same
I think he
person?
did. I don't think he played the. I think it's 5, 6, 7. obviously.
Yeah.
They didn't touch. You're right. You're probably right. I can't remember.
I
Again,
could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure before Resident Evil 4 remake, I
I
had
think when
read
it
an
came out,
article about it
he
or
was
something like
asked
that.
if he was going to play it or
Yeah.
not, and he was like, "No." But congratulations to them. Yeah. Um, Dishonored 3, a game that I'm sure gets a lot of you excited.
Yep.
No,
Love
wow.
Dishonored 1.
This podcast
Love
is
Dishonored
interesting.
1.
A podcast sometimes, you know. Sometimes I just think, do we even play games anymore, guys? Like, what's going on here?
No,
You love-
I'm here for this one.
Okay.
I rocked with Dishonored 1. Dishonored 2, I don't think was enough of an upgrade for me. There was some like cool stuff that Dishonored 2 does. It was just more of the same for me, and that
Which is
wasn't
never a bad
enough.
thing. Just,
No, 100%. For some people, they absolutely love it, and that's why there's such a big fan base for Dishonored.
Well.
well,
It's a
Wow,
niche,
there's a
big fan
niche
base.
fan base. I don't want to say big.
A niche fan base can be big when they're loud.
What did you classify as big? Because Dishonored 1
niche.
and 2 have both said they both come out and said they won't make many more because they don't do well.
Yeah,
But-
but that was before Game Pass.
that
That's-
was before Game
You,
Pass.
you got to where I was going to get to. Dishonored 3 has the chance to be that game now for them finally, with Xbox obviously first party marketing behind it, with Game Pass obviously a new way to play games compared to how Bethesda was selling games. I can see Dishonored 3 doing really well if they are making that.
Also, like anecdotally, I think like Deathloop penetrated the mainstream a bit more than Dishonored.
Great.
And so like the next game from that team, and it's a sequel to games they made previous, might be a bit more hype to mainstream
Yeah.
people and Game Pass subscribers than
I would just hope if they do it, they don't call it Dishonored 3.
You
I
want
think you call it
Dishonored,
Dishonored.
Rise and Shine,
Yeah,
whatever.
Dishonored, Rise and Shine, exactly.
Yeah,
I
nailed
know.
it.
Something like that. Yeah.
If it's not Dishonored,
My
Rise and
brother honored
Shine,
me.
What was that fix?
I said Dishonored, my brother has honored me.
I preferred Rise and Shine.
yeah, Rise and Shine, yeah.
Just give me some more. All right, give me some more titles, Matt. Dishonored,
Dishonored, easy like a Sunday morning.
Crash, Dishonored.
I don't know.
Dishonored, I don't know.
No, that's literally the time Dishonored. I don't know.
Despawn, Dishonored.
Wakey Wakey Eggs and Bakey.
Oh, okay. I can definitely see it being that one. To be honest with you.
Yeah,
It would be
that's
nice.
a good one. That's a good one.
And then last thing on this list when it comes to leaks is Doom Year Zero DLC. I'll be honest, lads. Looking at this, some people are excited, some people are not. I'll be honest, I'm not excited. And I think this just proves that I'm not a Bethesda guy.
I was gonna
Every-
say.
Every time it comes round to it now, I appreciate what they do. I appreciate the worlds they build. I wish they would tell them in ways that I enjoy. But they don't. I think the only game, and I'm not excited for this game at all, by the way, the only game that might even interest me is Indiana Jones because of the way that game is going to be made. And that upsets me. I look at this list and there's just not an ounce of excitement in me. Maybe a brand new MMO because that will launch on Xbox. That could be fun if there's enough people playing it and it's interesting and it's in a world that I enjoy because I do like MMOs.
That game's gonna be such a hard sell.
Mm.
Just because like MMOs in general are like very, very hard sells to like for the longevity of them. And the benefit Bethesda's had with their like online experience is Fallout and Skyrim and Elder Scrolls are like huge franchises and a lot of love for them. I wonder how that reception would be for something that doesn't have that fan base there already.
I guess we'll wait and see, really, won't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a hard one. Does this excite you? Like what's been leaked here?
No,
Um,
I'm very with you though, Fix. I don't really care for Bethesda
Dishonored.
games
I'm gonna
like
say
that.
Dishonored does. Dishonored excites me very much. I'm interested to know what this licensed IP game would be. Indiana Jones also excites me, but that's because I'm old and I like the Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Other than that, like I never really vibed with Fallout that much. Same with Elder Scrolls. So yeah, not really like feeling the excitement that some people would be.
Wow, but you
yeah.
love Starfield.
Yeah, oh yeah, but that's because I love space. Your camera's frozen again, by the way.
Okay.
Space. Yeah.
Space!
I'm excited. Like, what else would you expect and want here? What would get you excited?
Nothing.
Like for me, new Doom. Awesome.
The evil within 3.
Yeah.
It's gotta hurt that that's not even there, huh?
I mean, the
then-
fact that I see Ghostwire Tokyo sequel just upsets me even more.
What happens if the Ghostwire Tokyo sequel still comes out?
I'd be pissed.
I think you're right though. I think without Shinji, like they're probably going to step more into the Hi-Fi Rush realm than they are back into Ghostwire or Evil Within.
Depends, because like
I don't know.
you hire a lot of people on that team that like they clearly would want to work on that type of environment of like this horror approach, survival horror type of approach. I could see them doing another survival horror game, maybe not necessarily Evil Within, but something
Fresh,
like
I-
that sort of.
fresh IP.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
that's
I-
what the licensed IP is.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a Saw
be.
game.
I was gonna say
Not an idea.
No, not so.
S- No, so I very much feel like Hi-Fi Rush is the grounded for the studio, in so much of like it's not the main game; it's just like a side game that they made.
Oh,
I
you grounded the game.
yeah,
Sorry.
grounded the game. So like where like grounded was very much like it's not Elder Scrolls, it's not Oblivion. It's just like this little side game that they wanted to make, and they had a lot of fun with it. I feel like Hi-Fi Rush is that, but when they go back to their next main game, I think it's going to be still in the same vein of like Evil Within.
Yeah, I mean that studio's the only when Xbox bought Bethesda. Tango was the only studio that I was like, oh my god, we're gonna get survival horror games out of them. Then they put out obviously Ghostwire Tokyo, which again I haven't played Ghostwire Tokyo, so I'm sitting here saying, oh, why is it getting a sequel? I just didn't. It doesn't look like a me type of game at all. Crash played
Sure.
it. You
It
said it
won't.
wasn't, right?
Yeah, it's not a you type of game.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked the world they set up and the universe they created and the way you play it. I just think there's a couple of things the game does that aren't great, like unlocking skills and stuff like that. I think a sequel to me is interesting, but I could also just as easily do without a sequel to that game.
The main thing that is missing here is just the Evil Within 3, or like I say, I'll take just a third person Tango survival horror game. I'm fine
What
with
if
that.
what if it's first person? Is that like
No,
a
I don't.
hard no?
No, I just don't want.
Okay.
We just stop killing third person action adventure games and action and survival horror games. Like like Alan Wake is going to be in my top list this year. It has to be. It has to be good, Crash. It has to be. I'll be upset if it's not. I really will. Last but not least, in the big leak, I guess there's other details, brand new details that you could go into. But the big part here is the next generation of Xbox. We've kind of had that spoiled for us. Scheduled to release in 2028, which would put it around a 8-year life cycle, like the Xbox 360. Which is going to be a cloud hybrid games. And they are switching to, is it ARM or is it ARM? How do you say that? Anyone know? Yeah,
Yeah,
ARM.
ARM, I
Okay,
think, yeah.
cool. There's a lot of details here on the console. This is going to be the first console that is ARM, if I'm not mistaken, or ARM. Sorry, if I'm not mistaken. The CPU is ARM 64. CPU is bigger balance / little CPU cores. Again, there's a bunch of
Technical jargon.
technical speak in here that I do not understand. I don't think we have anybody on the podcast, right, that really knows too much about things. No, none of us. So all of us are sat here like no clue. The only thing we can go into for next gen, ray tracing, XDirect ray tracing is something they're going to be looking to be the big push. Like we always get the question on the podcast, right? It's like, what do you want from the next generation of gaming? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm playing Mortal Kombat. I'm like, Jesus, it can't get much better looking, if we're being honest. Like, in terms of those type of games.
We can talk about Mortal Kombat later.
Okay.
Ooh,
Oh,
spicy.
Interesting.
someone's got a spicy
Interesting.
take.
It's not a spicy
Um,
take. It's just
okay.
something I noticed while I was playing,
Okay.
and it has to do with like the visuals of the game, which we'll get to.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. There's a bunch of legal jargon here, but again, I don't understand it. Go to Digital Foundry or someone like that. They'll be able to tell you. The big thing to put on here is what they're trying to achieve with the console, right? Which is it is a cloud hybrid console. That's also talking about obviously AI again, like they were back in the day with Crackdown, and that now becoming. I mean, I guess people understand it more now finally in terms of like offsetting CPU to AI learning and things like that, machine learning. And we're finally in a place where we can see that actually coming to fruition in 2028. Are you guys excited for next gen? I'm already a bit worried again about next gen gaming already. Like, I know it's a long time away. It's a long time away, and that's what kind of sucks. I said this on Twitter when all this leaked, which was like, this is not how Xbox wanted to explain this to a dumb like me.
Yeah.
So I'm upset for them that I get to know about all this in a way that isn't digestible to a consumer as such as myself. You know?
Yeah.
Also, like, none of this a lot of this doesn't necessarily mean anything without the explanation attached to it, right?
Yeah.
You could
Yeah.
add all your own opinions and stuff like that. But until Xbox is like, hey, this is what cloud hybrid games means for us, right?
Yeah.
And what we'll be utilizing it for.
Yeah. I think this is where marketing is so important, right? Where it's like, unfortunately, you can tell me about GPUs, CPUs, NPUs, high performance silicone, whatever, right? None of this means anything to me. Just explain to me why it's going to make my games better, why it's going to make my games faster, and why I'm going to enjoy the games that you're putting out. You know? And I'll say this now in 2023, right? We'll probably still be doing a podcast in 2028, let's be honest. Xbox are yet to deliver on their software. I'm still not in a place where I am happy with Xbox's software. So for them to sell me on a console by 2028, they need to have hit some home runs with their software, because they haven't yet for me.
I don't think their goal is to get you to buy a console fix. You're already invested in them in another avenue that they have, which is PC. Like, I think that's a big thing about Xbox's push into the future. It's not just, hey, buy our box. It's like, hey, here's all the different avenues you can to play our games. And you'll still get the cloud hybrid gaming, even if you're not playing on Xbox, I'd imagine. You'd still be getting that on your PC.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree. But I have to have a console, mate. I have to.
That's
Like,
you.
I get it. I've had a console since I was.
I get it. No.
Like, free.
Look,
I have
I'm
to
with
have
you.
a console.
Whether I'll use it or not, I'm gonna get it. I'm
Yeah.
with you 100%. I'm just saying, like, not the market, you know.
But I am. I still think I am.
No, you're not. When's the
I'm a
last time you
hardcore gamer. Me, I'm playing FIFA on it right now.
That's because you got FIFA on it, right?
No, I bought it on my PS5 instead and decided to play it on my Xbox. Yeah, of course I got it on Xbox.
Okay. What made you get it on Xbox?
Because PC FIFA is awful.
Okay.
It's never optimized.
No, it was
Kombat.
that. So
Mortal Kombat, we got that on Xbox.
100%. But your goal with FIFA was not like, oh, I'm gonna play this on my console, because that is where I would prefer to play it.
I don't care where I play games anymore.
Okay.
Like, I prefer my games to be on Steam because I have a Steam Deck. That's the only reason why, because I don't like the fact that I paid however much I paid for the Steam Deck and then I can't utilize it. So I prefer my games to be on Steam, but if Xbox came out with that app and was like, yeah, you can play all your games from your Xbox library on this now through cloud, I'd be happy.
Matt's face.
Through cloud.
You can't play
cloud.
your
That
whole
already
library,
exists.
Matt. You can't play your whole
It doesn't.
library.
The app
on it.
doesn't exist.
Not on Steam
You
Deck.
can
but-
make it work, but
Yeah.
it doesn't. You can make it work, but an app, I'm talking about literally App Store, click, install, cloud. That does not exist right now.
Exists on your phone.
Yeah, but it doesn't exist on my Steam Deck.
Yeah, but
Sure.
Fix also wants
That's
every
is
game
like
he
a bad
gets to work
purchase on
on
your
it.
part then. Maybe you
What do
should
you
have
mean?
bought
It's like-
should have bought ROG Ally because it exists on there.
Yeah, but then I wouldn't have my Steam library.
Yeah, you would. It still works on there as well. It's a Windows
You
PC.
just
It's a ROG
shattered
Ally.
Fix's mind.
No.
It's
no,
double the
but-
price, but it is 100% exactly what you're after.
Fix wants the easy like connect. That's the thing. Like,
That's
Fix
all.
just wants
I
plug and
just
play.
want to exactly. Like, there is a way to do it on my Steam Deck. I understand that,
Mhm.
but it is also having to install a bunch of folders and do this and drag that there and I'm not interested. No, not interested. Just give me an app. Xbox, work with Valve and figure out how to get the Xbox app on there
Technically
and it
competitors.
working. I
Not
know.
gonna
Of
happen.
course they're competitors. Yeah, I know. No wishful thinking. I'm just explaining myself. All right.
Windows Stores is competing with Steam. It's crazy.
Most certainly is. Anybody want to go into any of this details stuff of the AI learning and all this stuff?
The only things I think there are some like red flags and green flags in the section where it says what does it say? Next generation gaming powered by AI and ML. there's a part that says creator efficiency. AI game testing feels like a red flag to me. That feels like a recipe for disaster in games coming out in buggy states and everybody going, well, you fucking sacked the whole QA team and replaced
I-
it with AI. What the fuck did you expect?
I think if it doesn't replace the QA team, I think it's fine. Because the
If it's
QA team's
additive.
never going to be able. Yeah, that's how
Agreed.
I read that, as it being an additive. If
Yeah.
that's not how it happens, I think for Microsoft it's an additive. I don't think
Yeah.
Microsoft's going to go ahead and get rid of all their QA teams.
No.
Because they got unions and stuff
But-
like that. Microsoft's been very pro-union. I don't
Yeah.
think it would happen.
Capitalism is a wonderful thing that we all love and is definitely great. And
Look, if
shareholders don't want to
Microsoft
get rid of
offers-
all of the stuff.
If
at all.
Microsoft offers the feature to other studios, there will definitely be some studio, and I'm not going to name any names because I'm not going to name any names, but there would definitely be a studio that would be like, hey, QA team, we don't need you. We got Microsoft's new service. You guys can go. I don't think Microsoft themselves, like, I don't think a Bethesda team or whatever would sack their whole QA team unless it's proven that the system they have there, the AI and the machine learning, is super, super effective and really good at what they do. Then maybe.
I mean, it will be.
Yeah, I
It
hate
will be
that
great.
future.
But my
Yeah.
point
Will it be?
is, yeah. And like you say, if it's additive, I think it's only positive, right?
Yeah.
The downside is I think it's just so easy to write that headline. This game's a buggy mess. It uses AI quality control, and that's why.
I just, when it comes to AI, just everything. AI to me is an additive. It is something to make things better and to be used by humans. It's not meant to replace humans.
Sure.
And
But
as
it
long
does.
as what?
I said, but it does.
It hasn't in my line of work yet.
There is definitely people
That's
out
a-
there
that's-
reusing it. Like, for,
I get it, but that's
nefarious
a
things.
very minimalistic view.
Well, yeah,
AI as a
sure,
Okay.
but I'm talking about. I don't think everything we're seeing, everything AI wise. If AI learning can make matchmaking, player ranking better, cool. If it can help with latency, amazing. If it can, all the things it says on this list, right? If we can figure out how safety and toxicity can be worked into player services, and because we can hear someone saying the M word and the AI
So-
goes, "You're calling somebody the M word," and we don't stand for that. Boom. Those
So what
are all
about-
good things.
Engagement and retention management, when they're like, oh, if I get people to pay $1 for a whole bunch of stuff, they're gonna engage with the content a lot more because they're spending more on the content.
Wait, what do you mean? Sorry.
There's the live ops bit with
Yeah.
engagement and retention management.
Yeah.
How is AI gonna do that? And what is that process? What if it's like, okay, people like really like spending more time in this game when you have to buy stuff in the game?
Yeah, but there's still a human there that has to go,
Okay,
oh, let's make that happen.
you're not wrong.
The computer's not making the
wrong. No,
game
no,
and
you're-
going,
you're not wrong.
like,
You're not wrong.
the
When-
human is the
I'm
person
just honest. I just had the bit about the guy who used to work at EA and with the whole Unity thing where it was like, oh yeah, he tried to charge people 50 cents
Oh,
to reload
pause
their
the
gun
game
or
or
whatever.
whatever it was.
That
Yeah.
was just at the
Yeah,
top of my head. I'll
but
be
that was
honest.
one idiot who said
Yeah.
that,
No,
and then there's
you're not-
other people
you're not
going,
wrong.
"You're an
You're
idiot."
an idiot. Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Like, and that's I don't again. I feel
But
like we do villainize AI lately. Like we are
That's-
so scared that it's going to replace certain
Because
things, and let me get there, and it is going to replace certain things, but it also will open other opportunities up for other things.
What other thing would open up from AI?
What do you mean? I mean, I can't think of everything off the top of my head. I've got to be honest with you. But do you understand? Does anyone understand what I'm trying to
You
say?
should be able
Yeah.
to think of something. No.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just say smaller team, indie dev. They
Yeah.
now get to game test their game with AI,
Okay.
where they might not have had a QA at all. Is that not a good thing?
Sure.
Okay.
So just the indie devs getting stuff added to them, right?
No, I'm just saying. I want to develop a game tomorrow. Me.
Yeah.
I make entire game, and there is a system in which AI can game test my system. Is that a bad thing? No. But I couldn't have
AI
afforded a QI. I couldn't have afforded a game tester
How-
anyway. So
How does the system learn how to QA test the game?
Crash, I am not Microsoft, fam. I don't know how this works.
Okay then. It's going to learn off of other QA testers. So the system's going to be built up by a whole bunch of QA testers. And
Okay.
then once the QA testers are done with their job and they don't need them anymore, they're all just going to get fired, and positions that would have been available to them previously are completely gone, and you miss out on a whole market.
But AI is not perfect.
Sure, but
Then
people
there
don't
should
care.
be safeguards in place for it.
That's what I'm saying. Would you not still have a QA team?
It
It's like, to
takes-
me,
But you said the indie team can't afford a QA team,
No, okay, but I
but they
think
can
we're
afford the service, the AI service to QA their game.
sure.
So nobody's missing out on a job anymore.
Well, technically, if I was making the game, I would then do the QA myself on top of that, right?
Most indie teams do.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I'm
A lot
saying.
of
Like,
indie
to me,
teams put out games on
that's
early
just not a
access.
negative. Like, to me, that's just not a negative to have more tools at my
But to-
disposal that are going to help me. I get what you're saying from a macro level, right? Which is like, cool. Now apply that to Bethesda, who has
No, I think even with the indie situation, because you said if you were an indie developer, like you would just test it out yourself. Yeah.
yeah.
So why? I'm just confused with the need for AI in that situation.
Because if I can identify the issues earlier and quicker by using AI, meaning I would be able to save time and save money on other things.
But you'd still be financially supporting as a developer the system that is keeping other QA devs from having jobs. No.
I go into McDonald's and order off a computer. That replaced a human. I don't
Yeah.
think about it.
Oh, what Chris is saying is maybe
No,
you
I
should.
think ultimately,
No, I shouldn't because it's a service and I'm happy with that. Me as a consumer, I'm like, yay, I don't have to talk to more people.
Okay.
ultimately, it's going to happen one way or another.
Yeah.
It's a much wider societal like
Yeah.
issue than just it happening in gaming. And it's inevitable. And so, yeah, it'd just be interesting to see how it actually shakes out.
Personally, my thought, because I haven't actually weighed in on this one yet, but like I definitely feel that like AI, like anything, is just a tool, and it's left to the people in charge to use it ethically. Do I
Agree.
think they will?
No.
Probably not.
I don't have an issue with the way Microsoft's been utilizing AI. I do
Mhm.
not think with the way they've been very pro union and very pro a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
I do not think Xbox will abuse these systems.
No.
Abuse AI. I said Xbox. I didn't say Microsoft. Let me just make that clear. Did not say Microsoft. I didn't say whether they allow these features for other studios, that other studios wouldn't abuse these things. And so
Allow
on.
me
So,
to move on to the next red flag I see.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
NLP, don't know what that stands for. Dialogue generation. Currently, we have a lot of writers on strike in the US,
Mhm.
and they're going, oh, yeah, I could just write dialogue. That's fine. Good idea.
Not a good idea at
not a
all.
good idea. Fix thinks it's a good idea.
I was being sarcastic, just for audio listeners.
I do think it's a good idea in some instances.
I get why you do because you're a creator. I 100% understand it, Fix. Because your
Yeah,
mind's on the creator aspect.
Of course it is. Again, I'm going to come at it from a different angle to everybody else probably on this, right? Like, yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I do in some instances.
So-
That doesn't mean in the newest AAA Last of
I
Us,
have a
in the
question,
newest
Fix.
Gears game, I want there to be AI
just-
dialogue. That's not what I'm saying.
No, I get it. I just have a question, right? You host sometimes, yeah?
I do.
When AI has the capability to host,
Mm-hmm.
and there was an opportunity for you to possibly host something, and that opportunity goes to AI, how would you feel about that?
Well, I would adapt. Me personally, because that's already happens. That already happens now, right? Like technically, there's already AI. You've seen it on TikTok. Everyone's seen the fucking ad. This wasn't even a real person. This was AI generated. Like, that's already exists, right? But somebody has to make that video still with the AI. That's
Do they?
just I would transition. Yeah, they do.
Why? Because
You still have to.
you can
if
get
I
AI
want-
to
if I
write a
wanna
script.
if I want to
You
get
can get
100
AI
if I
to
wanna
edit.
get, go on, yeah.
You can
but
get AI
Who
to
is telling
produce
who's
an
telling
host.
it, who is telling it to do that? Me.
Okay, but who did the AI learn off of?
Me.
No, it didn't.
No, it learned
Why?
off
AI never learns off of
stealing.
the person who's utilizing it.
It steals
the-
everyone else's
does-
content and uses
Do
that as a
artists use
benchmark.
AI?
Am
Or
I
do the
not?
people use?
Am I not one of the people who made the content that they stole from though? As a creator.
Are you the only person that made it?
No, I didn't say that.
So it would still be stealing
Bro,
because it wouldn't
okay.
just be your
We literally make thumbnails for this podcast where we steal assets every
Okay.
week. No one cares about that. Every
I-
YouTuber does it. We
I
go
use
to
press
Google, we go
assets.
copy, paste, boom. No one cares. We don't sit there and go, that was so unethical that we've done that. We've stolen a logo without thinking about it. If you want to drill down to things to this
That's-
minute detail,
That's not the
you could say
same.
this about everything. No, it's not the exact same. That's not what I'm
It's
saying.
not
I'm not
even
saying
in
it's
the
the
base.
exact same.
Logos and press assets are there for use for those exact things.
Okay.
Making a podcast completely in AI is
Mhm.
nowhere near the same thing. You could to drill down. If you want to drill down, like we're getting away from Xbox here, but you could literally tell AI. You could give them one sentence and go, make me a YouTube video about
Yep.
this subject. Like 2 sentences. You could get AI to produce a script based on other people's scripts without their permission. You could get them to produce the voice acting based on other people's voices without their permission. You could then get them to edit it based on editing processes created by other people without their permission, and create SEO based on other people's SEO without their permission.
So what's the answer?
Don't do that.
What's the answer?
Put in safeguards and rules around AI that says you can only use it for these certain things.
Because the way I'm thinking about it from like music pace as well, right? People steal my music all the time. I just take it and use it. I have to be okay with it. It's not because in go on.
people aren't okay with it. People
No,
get stricken all the
I'm not
time
okay
based
with it.
off music. No,
I agree.
so
I'm
there
not
are
saying,
laws and rules in place with music. You can't
So-
just take music.
so
so
what
they
we're
should-
saying is that there needs to be laws and rules in place for AI in gaming.
Sure.
In
yeah,
everything.
That's to bring but let's bring it back to gaming.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like George R. R. Martin is grouping together with a bunch of other writers to sue OpenAI because it's like learning off of their shit right now. Like we
Oh,
are
yeah.
so in the infancy of what this is that all of this is going to get worked out over the next decade probably.
Yeah.
And to think that it will completely destroy the economy and ruin everything is an option, but probably quite a pessimistic one. Like you got to hope that this like works out and they figure it out. But everybody's going to be testing everything right now. Like this sheet that we're looking at, which has dialogue generation on it, it's like throw shit at the wall. Let's test everything we can right now with this AI because it's growing so quickly.
To be fair, everything in that creator efficiency category is research and proof of concept. It's not
Yes.
like it will be in this.
Oh no,
Um,
100%.
Yeah.
I
but
like a healthy debate. I'll be honest.
Yeah. No, I do think that AI, I think you treat it as doom and gloom right now because it needs to be treated as doom and gloom. Because if you don't treat it like that, then people let whatever, and then all the abuse goes through.
Yep.
Of the system.
Anything unchecked is a danger. And the way that AI is running rampant at the moment, it is very much being left as like it's a wild west out there for what people are using AI for. Until there are checks and balances put in place, like with anything, like I think with microtransactions, with DLC, with any kind of gaming thing, like until checks and balances are put in place to monitor it and manage it properly, there are going to be inherent risks to using it. You would hope that those checks and balances get put into place quickly, because as we've said and as we've seen, like real world jobs are being put at risk by the replacement of this. And there's been no, if we're getting into the whole wider societal debate, like there is no replacement careers being made from replacing it with tech. Until we get into a position where either, like, again, we're getting into a societal conversation here where it's like universal basic income and things like that, where people have security when their jobs are being replaced. We need to be careful about what we are getting excited for in the future of like tech and gaming in general. I don't feel it's a good thing to get excited about replacing jobs with technology.
We already do it.
Yeah, and we
And no
already
one
do it.
cares.
I care. Like you don't care.
No.
General gamers
no,
don't care.
No.
Okay.
Don't say that. I do care,
Okay.
but we don't talk about it. No one gives a crap. Look, again, me, my whole life, I grew up working in retail, right?
Mhm.
Like I worked at McDonald's, right? So when I walk into McDonald's now, that's why I go back to it. When I walk into McDonald's now, I'm like, bro, my job is gone. Like, it doesn't exist anymore. The job I used to do as a cashier doesn't exist. Nah, I don't sit there and go, oh yeah, that computer really took my job. I just go, oh, okay, cool. I wonder what that person does now. They had to adapt, right? They had to do something. They've done something else.
Sure. So if you're an artist, and the
Musician, are we
only
talking,
'cause
or just drawing? What are we
in
talking?
general, because like
Okay.
AI is starting to seep into music as well, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's what you
definitely.
wanted to do your whole life. That's what you spend a lot
Definitely.
of, and then AI comes through because nobody's end goal is retail. Let's be 100% honest. Most people's end goal isn't to be a cashier at McDonald's, right?
No, that's
Most
true.
people.
100%. I agree.
Art, music, whatever avenue you want to take art in, that is people's dream goal. That is people's like. Some people live off and like, hey, I'm barely living check to check. I'm
Yeah.
cool with that because I'm doing something I love. What AI has actively already done
Agree.
seeped into that and ruined that for some people. Because there's people who are like, hey, I had to actually go get a 9 to 5 now. A 9 to 5 now that is nothing remotely to what I've wanted to do with my life. Like, yeah, they're adapting, but it's an adapting in a negative aspect. There are artists who literally can't afford because of AI to continue being artists.
But on the other hand, there will be artists who will utilize AI in such a way that will make them more successful than they ever could be before. The last generation version of that is something like autotune, where it's like, okay, you don't have the natural ability to augment your voice in this way.
Wait. We can. There is a talent to using autotune. You don't just turn it on and autotune's good.
100%. There will be a talent to using AI. And there is a talent to using
You learn
AI.
a couple of keywords.
You
but
learn
I
how to
disagree.
utilize the software you have available to you.
I'm with Matt. I agree with Matt on that.
The difference with AI and autotune is a feature set that you can adjust and tune locally. AI is learned off of other people's art without their permission. So even if somebody can learn, oh, I know how to make great art off of AI, it's built off of something that's stole from other people. So I get what you're saying, Matt. And
yes,
if there's an AI that goes out there, it's like,
I think that's the part that I maybe hadn't thought about enough in this discussion is the taking from others without their permission
because
to benefit everybody else. Because I'll openly admit, right? Like I've used AI many a time. I've used ChatGPT. I've done whatever, right? 9 times out of 10 is shit.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about it right now. We're talking about the evolution of it throughout when it does get really good. And you're right. I guess wherever it's being pulled from, this information of how they get to it, they're not getting credit. They're not getting paid. They're not making any money. You're right. You're 100% right.
That's what I'm saying. There needs
Yeah,
to be some
you're
sort of
100% right.
defense for them in that perspective.
Yeah.
Some sort of protection for the creator. Maybe like, hey, you want to allow a certain AI to use your artwork, and then if somebody plugs in, or we pull from your art for whatever we create, let's say the art costs $50, whatever, a certain amount of that will go to you or something like that, right? Where it works sort of like a residual.
Yeah,
that
I get what
people
you're
do when
saying.
they create stuff. I think that's cool. But
Do you
there
think we
is
get
nothing
that
like
in the gaming space? So it's like, okay, cool. We're gonna put all of, I don't know how they would do it. I'm not smart enough, right? Which is like,
Yeah.
we're gonna put all of this gaming dialogue into
It-
a computer, and then AI will pull from that, and then anything that is pulled through, you will get a residual from that. Is that better? Is that better? Is that beneficial? And who gets the residual? Does EA
was
get the
gonna say,
residual?
that's,
Because they're the ones who published it.
They own it.
They
technically
own
those
it.
works
They own it. So it's
sometimes. Yeah,
EA
no.
who gets the money, or it's
Is it
there's
the
There's a lot of
voice
stuff.
actor?
Now.
like who
Adobe are
gets
going
it?
through this right now. Adobe have just announced that all of their AI image generation now is royalty free. Like, you can use it as long as you have an Adobe subscription. The reason that that's allowed is because everything Adobe's AI is pulling from has been uploaded to Adobe's cloud by its users. So as a user of Lightroom, every time you upload a photo, you're allowing Adobe to use that in their AI image generation.
So
I was gonna say,
but you've agreed to that in the terms and conditions.
You've
I
agreed to
assume,
that in
right?
terms and conditions. Is it super clear and people super happy
course
about it?
not.
No. But if Unreal said anything you make in Unreal now is licensed for our AI. So now when you go into Unreal, I can say, build me a forest in Unreal Engine 5. It will do that, and it will base it off every other forest that is built in Unreal Engine 5. And all the users of Unreal Engine 5 have agreed to that in their licensing terms.
The way
That's how it will end up working.
yeah,
I agree.
yeah, the way I
Unless
could
there's
see it
massive
working.
pushback now,
Yeah.
and then there are royalties.
well,
But
Adobe's been getting pushback for their whole AI generation.
yeah,
system.
they have. I don't think it's going to change.
No,
Yeah.
because
It's the most ethical out of all of them.
Space, in that in that exact market space, not a lot of stuff competes with Adobe. That's Adobe's benefit
True.
there, and
True.
a lot of people I've talked about like, oh, maybe I stopped doing Adobe, maybe I stopped subscribing, and some people have moved completely away from Adobe. It's just a
Mhm.
difficult thing to do in that market spot.
The problem is anything that makes humans' lives easier and more convenient, we're always going to go to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't
100%.
disagree.
No,
But I think
I don't either. Yeah.
It
I
doesn't
just-
make it right. It doesn't make it ethical, bro. The trainers that I wear, we know where they're made, fam. Like,
Yeah.
I don't sit there going, "Ah, shit, man, these were made in a sweatshop in God knows where." I just don't think about it, and I feel like that doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it okay. But I think that's where we're gonna get to with AI. And yeah, it's interesting. I think it's an interesting debate to have.
Yeah.
I love you. We will move on, everybody. We will agree to disagree on this because otherwise we'll stick on it, and we're already going long.
Yeah.
The last thing here is obviously from Phil Spencer, who said this in his quote, which is, "We've seen the conversation around older emails and documents. It is hard to see how teams work shared in this way," which I totally agree. That's me putting that in. Because so much has changed and there's so much to be excited about right now. In the future, we will share the real plans when we are ready. End quote. That is from Phil Spencer, head of Xbox. Top Lift had this to say, so we'll quickly go into this. Hey guys, hope you're all well. With all the Xbox stuff that was leaked this week, are you disappointed to have had the surprises of things being revealed when they were supposed to have been? And what's your thoughts on the new shape of this of the X refresh, as well as favorite? It's only digital.
That is
Yada yada
fact.
yada.
Yeah.
That is. Thank you. I'm disappointed. I'll say this off the top. I'm disappointed. This isn't the way I wanted to do it. I want to see this at Game Awards. I want to see this at Xbox's showcase. I want to see this which, don't get me wrong, I'm still gonna get hyped when I see it again with a spicy trailer. So in a way, does it really matter? No. But what it does mean is now we're expecting it and we're waiting for it, right?
It
And
better not be
that's the disappointed.
anybody's prediction here for the Game Awards.
I was literally just going to say, can we all agree to not predict it
Veto
for the
that.
Game Awards?
Yeah.
But I
Well,
think they
don't-
probably lean into it. I think they probably like the a black screen with white text, the worst kept secret in gaming or whatever, and then they announce it at the Game Awards. I could still see that happening.
Yeah, me too. Me too. To be honest, no, I'm very disappointed personally. It's not how I like to experience things. Again, as someone who works in creation and have a I have a interest in marketing. I'm always interested to see how things get marketed to me as a consumer, you know? So for me, I'm more interested now of like, okay, now that I know these things exist, how are you going to sell them to me? But me, I'm disappointed. Despawn?
Yeah, 100% disappointed. Like again, I love like we've talked about it in the past, I'm sure, but I love that E3 moment of like the big reveal that no one saw coming, like the cyberpunk of Keanu Reeves, all that kind of stuff. Like I love a big reveal, and to now, like Matt just said, like we are now just gonna be sat here expecting the reveal at every award show or every conference. It's just like it kind of takes the wind out of it a lot for me, which is a shame.
To me, it does, but if it's different, it could be even more exciting now.
Mm.
Because when that cylinder isn't a cylinder and it's a triangle, we're all gonna go, "Oh shit!" Do you know? But do you know what I
hope they
mean?
don't do that.
Yeah.
No, but
Yeah.
the
Pyramid.
conversation.
Wait,
no,
you
but-
can not only can you put it on its side, you can put it on all of its
I
sides.
was gonna say it's really easy to put it on its side.
No,
if
but
it's
do
a
you know
triangle.
what I mean? Like even with
Yeah.
Fallout Remaster, when that's a remake and not a remaster, you're gonna be a hell of a lot more excited about it now.
Well, Phil says, from what Phil says, that game's not coming out
Why? Why did you say that?
because so much has changed. Those words, because so much has changed.
So much.
So much has
So
changed.
much things.
It started that as a remake, and now it's a full-on remaster, reimagined.
It started out as a remake, and we decided it's not worth the effort.
Yeah, we're just gonna put it on Switch. It's fine.
Yeah.
Are you disappointed with the way it's been leaked? Crash. Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, I am. I think it would have been really hyped to go into the Game Awards and be like, oh man, what are our predictions for Xbox? They'll announce X, Y, and Z, Gears of War, whatever else it is. Killer Instinct, of course, which is gonna happen this year.
Absolutely.
And then we see the console reveal, and then it's like, oh, it's a cylinder. The talk around that would have been very interesting. But to your point, like if anything changes with any of these announcements, I do think it brings that hype back up because again, it's not what we expected it to be.
It's
Matt,
another bat at the news cycle, right? Like if it comes out and it is a pyramid, fuck, you just got double the amount of publicity out of this announcement. So from that aspect, it's cool. But if it comes out and it's exactly what it is, which wouldn't surprise me, then everybody goes, "Yep, moving on." Nobody probably talks about it. But yeah, it's always disappointing when this stuff gets leaked. Obviously, we're still.
I
gonna sit here
like
and talk
little
about it now.
leaks. I like little leaks. I don't like these big ones.
I like the little leaks that are unconfirmed. You know, it's
Mhm.
like
Yeah, I like the
get a little hype
speculation
for
it
this.
allows us.
This is
yeah.
like, oh no, this is like all 100% like
Yeah.
on the table somewhere being
If we
actively
could-
like planned out, discussed.
Yeah, if we could basically just stop leaking things through court documents, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Just hear Sarah and Wario64's Twitter. That's all I need my leaks from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just let the court end. Let it end. God damn.
It's
Well, we're
about
at the
to.
end now.
So close.
Yeah, we said this back in June.
Last year.
To simplify Eldozo's next question on the same sort of topic, he says, "What are your thoughts on the all digital future, and what do you think will be the tipping point into the all digital future? Will be? Are you ready to embrace it?" I've been ready. Me personally, I've been ready. Yeah, I'm. Again, I do. One thing I will say is I do want physical things to still exist. I do want physical games to still exist in a way. I want it to be like vinyl. I want there is a way to get these things still, and they can become a collector's item. They can, that's that they need to stick within their niche. Like again, I still get excited over steelbooks, and I feel like steelbooks can be the thing now of like, if you can afford it, obviously as a AAA. Like you go to your Walmart or wherever, you go in, you buy the steelbook, and then you get the code inside it. That's where there has to be an evolution, I feel like. And if for people who do like collecting things, I feel like that has to still exist. And again, if you want to get a disc, there needs to be a system in place that you can go and get the new FIFA on disc in 20 years' time.
Yeah. I will.
The problem with the
Go
oh,
on,
sorry, go on.
No, go. No, I was going to say, the easy argument about this is in one word: Steam. PC gaming has been all digital for decades at this point, and like
To
no one
counteract that
batted an eyelid
a
on that.
little bit. PC gaming used to be much smaller than it is now.
I mean, it used to.
So it
Xbox
kind of
used to be
had
much
to
bigger than it
adapt
is now.
this-
To
True.
counteract that again, I still can't play Resident Evil 2 OG on PC.
No,
So I have to then go
Not
through
legally.
a bunch of but this is that's
Yeah.
the point, right? We just spoke about AI and stealing, bad.
yeah,
Emulation's bad.
yeah.
We can't
100%.
pick and choose on what we're
Aye.
morally okay with anymore here, people.
I didn't say it was good. I just said it was an option. Doesn't
Okay,
make it a good
alright,
option.
All right, it does.
I
It's a
ag-
great option. I already
No,
own the
it's-
game. I can do what I want.
You're technically, if you own the game, you are allowed to emulate the game.
I know.
Legally.
I know. Yeah, I know.
So there's that moral dilemma that you try to create there isn't accurate.
Doesn't exist.
Honestly, this whole podcast, I'm just playing devil's advocate on things I don't actually believe in, but it makes for a great podcast.
Doesn't it just?
Crash, are you ready for the all digital future?
I'm all digital already. I can't tell you the last time I personally bought a physical game. So,
That's what I found hilarious. We got Despawn a code for Mortal Kombat in the end, and it was like, you can just send me your physical copy. I was like hell am I? That's staying in its shrink wrap and not coming out the box ever. Just like all my other games that get sent here.
I'm gonna
19
sell
inches
that
of
at one
Liu Kang.
point in the future, and it's gonna be like $1,000.
I'm telling you guys, yeah, I've got to have one thing. You know, like in like 50 years time, when they're like, wow, they sent this out to only influencers. I've got to
Yeah.
have something of all this shit they send me. I've got to have something that's worth
I can
something, right?
guarantee you it's gonna be something you viewed as stupid and gave to somebody as a gift, or because you thought they'd find it more interesting.
Yeah.
And
say
you're gonna
that.
see it on
Yeah.
something, and it's gonna be like selling for $50,000 or
I would say
500,000
that.
or whatever.
Well, obviously the new collectible is going to be 19 inches of whatever. So you've got, I can see it in the
I
background.
do
You've got
have 19 inches of Liu Kang.
Yeah. I want
Mhm.
19 inches of Sephiroth. Square Enix, if you're listening, hi, big fan.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, you got no chance, mate.
Yeah, I
If
know.
if they come through to anyone, that's coming to me, mate. I'm telling you.
But I've got Cloud and Sephiroth in the corner there. Look at them.
Yeah, but
Oh.
no.
I know.
No.
I know.
Matt, ready for all digital?
Yeah, obviously, you know I am. Like I think the vinyl thing that you brought up earlier is interesting, right? Because vinyl, like, there are arguments that vinyl sounds better. That like vinyl is like a fundamentally different thing than your Spotify, than your WAV file, whatever. Whereas that just is not the case with disc. There's no like advantage to having the disc, other than they can't steal it from your digital store. Like if I'm a Game
But
Pass subscriber, they could just take Starfield off of it if they wanted, and then I don't have Starfield anymore.
yeah, but to counteract that again, most games still need an install, and if they're like, well, you can't install anything anymore,
Sure,
they
definitely,
still
that's a
stole it
thing.
from you.
Yeah, like the Jedi Survivor, I think disc, right, was like 200 megabytes of access to the digital download. So, yeah, I think it's inevitable, isn't it? It's happening. Get on board, people. And yeah, I think you're right. I think it'll all be collector's edition stuff, right? It'll be, that Mortal Kombat thing you sent back, that you got back there. Does that actually come with a disc?
Yep, physical
Oh, why,
disc,
really?
physical copy
Okay,
of the
fair enough.
game, and steelbook.
Yeah,
I
fair enough.
will say the more we go into a more digital world, I wouldn't be surprised to see smaller sort of collector's editions that maybe come with like a steel bookcase, like Fix
That's-
said, and just like small little stuff like here's your physical stuff for this game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have to produce actual game copies. We were able to like put that sort of revenue into something else.
I just
Most
think
people will just save the revenue.
100%.
I agree, but I think there'll be a company out there like Limited Run or whoever who decides, and they get to really pick up and go, look, hey, you've got a cult following for this game. We reckon they could sell 50,000 units at $100 a pop. You
Yeah.
interested? And I feel like there'll be a lot more of that. Again, it just become niche, Like I've got now. It's a shame that where I live currently is just such a not a great place to like show everything that I have. Like the amount of statues and like look at Despawn setup. Like mine's gonna look very similar, with like just the amount of like stuff that I have. And I love it. I just don't get to show it off. It's really annoying. But I did get a Mortal Kombat powwow, for our drinking friends.
Oh
If you
yeah,
can-
cute.
There you go. How about that? So, but I've got a Sunset Overdrive drink.
Nice.
They
That's
are.
so- That sells for like £20-30 on eBay.
Oof. Carbonated stuff like that, surely though, is just a fucking time bomb. No? Is that not just gonna explode one day and ruin everything else in your room?
Nah.
Maybe.
If you keep shaking it, maybe.
As long as
If it doesn't happen on pod,
Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah.
we're re-recording one
I
day and just
feel-
something's gonna pop in the back.
I feel
background.
dirty right now. I don't know why. No
that's how
reason.
Fixer dies. He's
Yeah.
gonna be podcasting, and all of
And
these
that can's
gonna
carbonated
explode in the back
of his
edition
head.
drinks explode and kill him. Yeah,
That's a good way to go. To be
I
fair,
mean that's a pretty.
I've dedicated
You would
a long time to
SEO
this
like
podcast.
crazy fixed.
Yo, man, Xbox. What would they say? That's got to be an IGN article, right? MC Fixer from My Xbox and Me dies to Mortal Kombat powwow. Crazy. Feel bad for Josh over at MK over at Warner. So that's some bad PR for him.
No, they run with that. It's the ultimate fatality.
Yeah,
They put you in the next
100%
game.
Make it a fatality.
Oh yeah.
They put
Hello,
you in the next
Haley.
game.
You are on the My Xbox and Me podcast. The audience wants to know where you are and why you haven't given us a review for Dreamlight Valley. Did you
Yeah,
hear
She
that?
just hung up.
She just said bye.
Didn't come through on the mic, unfortunately. But
Ah, damn.
just sounded like she
damn,
hung up.
damn. Boys, I don't know what we should do. Should we go through what we've been playing? Should we go through news? What do you want to do? Talk to me.
I kind of want to talk about what we've been playing because I feel like me and Matt are about to have an argument.
Okay, fine. Let's do what's been in our box, and then we'll save the rest of the news. By the way, we've got CMA news, the Ubisoft news. There's a bunch of news. We'll do all that for next week, I guess. I'll start off with what I've been playing. I'm sorry, Despawn. You have
Okay.
to wait a little bit longer.
That's fine.
I've been playing FIFA. I've been playing the new EAFC. I've put about 15 hours into it already, maybe a bit more, to be honest with you. I'm having a really good time. Ultimate Team this year. I'm playing it. Not had to put in any real money.
Nice.
When are
Well,
we gonna
that's-
have our match fix?
So look, I've got to be honest with you guys. I think we got to start on My Xbox and Me Pro clubs, honestly, because I know you guys don't play FIFA, right? But that's what I think will make it the funniest thing ever.
Question: is pro clubs where you each play one player.
Yes.
Okay.
So I can control the rest of the team. You can all play as your one player, and we can do our road to. I feel like it's just like we sit down for an hour, and it's like road to Division 1, and we just sit down, we play. Ah, we lost. All right, see you later, guys.
That's all it would be. It'd just be us losing
Right.
constantly.
Why am I
don't
ringing
think
the
it
wrong
would,
way?
man. I don't think it would. We
I-
could bring people in from chat as well to help out.
I
Like, 'cause
think-
you have up to 11 players. Oh,
There's 11 players
I'm
on the
down.
team?
11 players. Oh, Jesus. Stuff.
It's
Maybe
I'm
these
down.
people
more
can't play.
Goalie.
Yeah, Crash, can you go and goal? That'd be hilarious.
I want to go full role play.
What do you want me to go?
Treat it like Baldur's Gate. I'm all in.
Okay.
Well, you get the way I look at it is we get the 10-hour trial, right? Everyone's got a
I was
10-hour
gonna say
trial.
you got me for 10 hours.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
great. Cheers. Thanks for that, Crash. Jesus.
you're welcome.
For 10 hours, yeah. The
Yeah,
problem
I
is with the
agree.
10 hour, yeah.
I'm
Like, everyone's
unlikely
like,
to
I'm
buy
not
the game.
buying it. I'm not buying it. Don't worry. Thankfully, you got Daddy Fixer. He'll buy you all the game. Don't worry.
Yay, Daddy. Wait,
Well,
that
let's
seems
get
wrong.
through the 10 hours first and see
Yeah,
if we even.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Let's be honest.
Buy me my coffee right now. I want a coffee before I commit to
Where's my
anything.
code, man? Where's my code?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, trust me.
Dad,
by
can
the
I
way,
have a code?
EA did send me the copy of my game, so thank you, EA.
Really?
But yeah.
We didn't. We didn't get
Yeah.
it.
Wow.
Um,
Wow.
I know.
well, you're not MC Fixer, are you, mate? You're
I
just-
mean,
you're
yeah,
just-
that's fair. That's
you
fair.
know,
I'm Paul Despawn, damn it.
FIFA this year, good. I really enjoy it. Ultimate Team feels very good. I've not had to put any real money into it, though I did get sent the Ultimate Edition, so I did already have points. Packing players has been very, very good. I've got Virgil van Dijk, Trent Alexander. Again, for people who understand football, will understand those are good players for Ultimate Team, especially for the start. Yeah, it feels very, very. The gameplay itself. Defending is one of the hardest things ever in this year's game. It's so challenging. They've really changed defending. It feels good. It feels good. It feels like a very good step in the right direction for this new football game, technically, which is EAFC. I just hope they give pro clubs the mode a little bit more love. It's got some updates, but not enough. And then the same. I haven't touched career mode or manager mode yet, which I will do by next week because I'm starting the series on that. So I'll be able to give you more information then. But yeah, I'm really enjoying my time with it again. Put some good hours into it, which proves to everyone, by the way, that clearly I don't like Starfield because I've had time. I just choose not to use it to play that.
That's fair.
We'll go to you,
That's not
Despawn.
fair. How dare you, Fix?
I'm sorry. Despawn, what you been playing?
I have actually played so many games this week. I'll
Okay.
keep it brief though, because I want to get into this argument with Matt. So Payday 3, put a bit of time into that.
We all played
You
that. We
did,
all played
yeah.
that. We all played together. Streamed it over on the My Xbox and Me YouTube channel.
Which is
And then
still up
Matt
now.
just dipped. Matt just dipped. Like Matt was just like, Matt's never been a live streamer. You can tell, which I love because like Matt got to a point where he was like, yeah, I'm done, and just
Yeah.
I'm going, guys.
He
Bye.
had to go.
I know,
He
but it
let
was
us
so.
know he had
To
to
me,
go.
it was so. Yeah, but to me, it's so funny.
Nah,
Got shit to do, man. Got shit to do.
he let
Busy
us
boy,
know.
busy boy.
To be fair,
Do you ever have like a long gaming session?
Really. I mean, I played
Yeah.
like 3 hours of 3 hours. I would say is like where I max out.
Damn.
3 hours.
I put
You
like
view
8
3
hours
as a
into gaming
long
yesterday.
session.
Is that long to you?
Yeah,
I think
No,
that's
no,
long to a lot
like-
of people.
I could go longer.
No, I
Like,
understand.
I could if I had nothing to
Mhm.
do. Then I
If
could.
you had a
keep
Red
going.
Bull that day, you know, did some
Mm.
press ups, scooted
Mhm.
to
Hell
testosterone
yeah.
up,
Hell
you
yeah.
could go longer. I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Go on, Despawn. We replied. Sorry.
No, that's fine. So yeah, Payday 3 was a ton of fun. I've been playing it a bit off line as well. Some of those, like some of the later maps, are really fun. I'm very
Yeah.
excited for us to jump into that if we can.
Was it- question quickly: does it introduce like new thing? Like, is there like, oh, this is unique. This isn't just picking up money and putting it in the back of a van.
The end goal is
That
always
is what
picking up.
payday. That is
Yeah.
payday, though, Matt.
Sure.
I will say, yeah, the end goal is always pick up money and put it in the back of a. In some later levels, you pick up money and put it in the back of a helicopter. But they
Fun.
do introduce some
Probably
really
did that.
cool mechanics. Again, I won't spoil it because I want to get to it with all of us. But there is a point where you have to start using QR codes. You have to. There is one where you have to knock off a museum and you have to steal works of art, and you have to find which one's the real work of art and which one's the fake one.
Cool. Like,
So-
yes, this is what I was talking about. This sort of
So
stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, there is really cool mechanics in those. So yeah, so as the later levels go, there are certain specific mechanics which are really fun. But all the levels are great. Try to break the perfect heist is always a ton of fun. I did it on my own. Thanks AI for not helping me.
Can I be honest? My favorite moment when we were playing the game is when we all cuddled up around the guard and just kept pointing at him. There's the guard.
Guards,
There's
guards,
the guard.
guards, guards, guards.
If,
No, I had a
Not
great time.
suspicious.
yeah, it's a
I
fun
had a
game.
really
It's
great
fun.
time playing with you guys. I haven't played any more since actually, which
Okay.
is a
I haven't
shame. But
either.
again, there's so much out, which is like, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
I tried to
alright.
play it this week and couldn't get in.
Oh
to
yeah, the servers were busted this week. They're back up
So-
now, which is good. But yeah,
Sad.
I think it was launch day, just jitters.
Yeah.
Because
Fair
it,
enough.
it officially launched on the 21st, obviously in Game Pass, which is gonna have a little knock-on effect on the amount of people trying to play at the same time.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
Sure.
Then thank you to Daddy Fixer. I got a code for Mortal Kombat.
Thank you to Play On for giving us a code. We all got. Wait, no, me.
No,
and you got
that'd
a
be-
code. No,
WB,
me,
when
you
you-
and Chris. We got free code. We got Play On hooked us up. No, it weren't Play On. It was WB.
WB. Yeah, yeah.
hooked us up.
Yeah.
Premiere. Sorry, I'm dealing with
Play
so
On
many.
was for
different- Play On
Payday.
was for Payday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Oh, I didn't show you guys. I know we got kind of gone long, but screw it. You
Go.
know,
Sure. We warned people it was going to be a long episode.
I got sent like a bunch of
Sick.
stuff from Play
Wait,
On.
did you get the safe?
I got the safe. Yeah,
Did you? Have you unlocked the safe?
yeah. This is all that was in it.
No, it isn't.
Yeah,
Open the
yeah,
safe.
No, yes, it is. I've got the gold bar.
Oh, okay, that's fine then. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got the gold bar. Yeah, right. That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. I got everything. I got
Okay,
everything. But
okay.
yeah, Play On sent me
That's
out a
sick.
Payday package. Yeah, it was a whole safe. There was a file with it to decipher. Yeah, I didn't decipher it. I just used the key. Yeah, next time we play, boys, I'm ready to go.
Here's master.
Oh,
I've got my
shit.
mask
Masked
down
up?
there as well, so I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to role play some Payday.
for you guys.
That's just your face. It's ugly.
Rude.
Unreasonably rude.
Wow. What else did I play this week? So I said like I played a lot of games. Sea of Stars. I know a lot of the community were talking about us jumping into that. I finally did.
Yes. No.
Yes, very much yes. It is, if you are like me and older shit, and you remember the classic like turn-based RPGs, it's very much reminiscent of games like Golden Sun. If you ever played those on the Game Boy Advance, Fix wearing his mask for the audio viewers.
We're
Not
talking about
listen-
something he doesn't care about.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
not
So
give a
he's off
shit.
in his
He's
world.
out.
Guys, I realize I do that a lot. Like you
Mhm.
guys talk about games that are like I just don't care about, and I just tune out. I literally just my mind goes all over the place. I'm really sorry. I love you all. It's like I bet you do the same when I talk about FIFA though, or Football Manager.
No,
I
I'm
was
very
tuned in when you
invested in
were
your
talking about Football
conversation.
Manager.
Yeah, yeah.
I have had moments where I'll completely tune out of a conversation and then randomly my name will get called and I'm like, I gotta think of something to say now.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say if I ever see like the most simplest thing that doesn't make any sense, I wasn't paying attention to the conversation that was happening.
Sea of Stars. What type of game is it? Because I don't even know what type of game it is.
It is a like pixel art, like turn-based RPG.
Okay.
Think like
Fresh
classic.
game.
Yeah, and me
You
game
looked-
as well.
You opened up Game Pass last time I took it. I talked about it and it opened up the EA Plays login.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do remember. I do
Yeah.
remember.
But yeah,
So
no,
that
it's a really good game. It's very good. And then last but not least, I played some Lies of P.
Game of the year.
You don't like it.
Ugh.
No,
So-
not for me. I don't like
so-
it not because it's a bad game, but because I'm a bad gamer.
Yes, that's fine.
Context. Have you played other From Software games? Not
Yes.
that this is a From Software
I
game.
have
Yeah, and
played tons of Elden Ring. I've played a
Okay.
lot of Dark Souls and Demon
Finished them?
Souls.
No?
No, put tons of hours into Sekiro. Never finished any of them, but yeah, like I will say that yeah, I think I'm finally coming to the conclusion that Soulsborne games are not for me. This game
fine.
though is like the parry system is so hit or miss. for me.
Here, if you've been using the parry system, this is where me and Matt are going to disagree about the game. The parry system isn't worth investing that much time into. Like
It's
that.
terrible. It's absolutely
It's not worth
atrocious.
it.
Like it's not so much
It's
like you're
not.
investing the time. It's just not good. Like there are times when I
But
know
yeah,
I've
no,
hit
no,
the
no.
button and it's just like doesn't register it, or it register. I put up the parry too late
you're-
for them.
So you're parrying wrong That's a skill issue, first of all. Second of all, if you're parrying that much in the game, that is your issue. You should barely be parrying in the game.
Right. Well, it does a
In
very bad
fact,
job
like
of explaining that then.
Matt's comparison about Sekiro with this game, I think is completely off because I don't think there's much like Sekiro in this game. In fact, I'd argue there's nothing like Sekiro in this game.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think, and I still stand by what I said last time. Like the difficulty is inconsistent, and the game like gives you a lot of customization options and allows you to play the game the way you want to play the game, except when it doesn't.
Mhm.
Except when it gives you an enemy that requires you to parry, or a boss that requires you to parry,
Prime
which
example.
exist.
Yeah, the prime example is there's that little side boss thing, the little cop. Oh, let's say the little one. He's like 10 feet tall.
Yeah, I know where you are. Yeah, right at the start.
Yeah, but no, you come up against him later on again.
Yes,
That's the one that I got stuck on because he was like, yeah, just
sure. At that point in the game, you are supposed to run past him. I'm
Right.
100% convinced that that is the case.
Even if you fight him, you shouldn't be parrying. Don't parry.
Sure, agreed. But that's what I mean. There are some bosses and
But-
some mini bosses and some enemies that the best way to beat them is to parry, and there are a
Mhm.
lot more where that is not the best way to beat them. The best way to beat them is to dodge and be aggressive.
I get that, but that's also a thing in all Souls games. There are bosses where the best approach is sit back with a bow and arrow and just knock at them until they're dead.
Sure, I think the difference is the best approach versus the only approach. Like
I haven't
there are
played that much, so I can't say whether it's the only approach.
there is one specific one where it is the only approach.
Okay.
Mm,
And
see.
it makes it quite clear to you, but I don't love that is the
No.
case.
Okay.
You also get an upgrade way too late, but is super useful. Where it's a grindstone, so you activate it when you're grinding your weapon, and every block is a perfect block from that point on for a certain amount of time. Super
Um,
useful. Get it.
I hate that.
Get it as
I
soon
hate
as
that
you
that's
can.
the thing that I have to get towards to make the game even palatable. But yeah, no, not for me. Uninstalled
Which
it,
is fine.
moved on. Like again, I've come to realize that yeah, those kind of games are not for me, and that is fine. Like there are definitely people out there that this game is perfect for. Matt being a prime example, saying it's his game of the year at the moment. And
Is
yeah,
it
but
actually game of the year for you at the moment, Matt?
Yeah, I don't know what would top it. Yeah.
Morrows and
Okay,
Starfield.
So Starfield, you don't think there's a chance Starfield tops
Look,
it?
I want to get back to Starfield. I really want to get back to Starfield, so I have a more informed opinion on it. One of my complaints about Lies of P is that maybe it's too long, or maybe I'm just dying to get back to Starfield and Baldur's Gate, and every time they introduce something, like every time the game goes, and now here, instead of when that happened in Elden Ring, I was always like, oh my god, this is amazing. Da da da. I was under a lot less time pressure in like life and everything else then. Whereas now when Lies of P is doing it, I'm like, this is cool, I guess. But I felt like this game could have ended 5 hours ago, and I would have been satisfied. But I think that's more of a me thing than the game thing,
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I won't be getting to that point, so that's fine.
which is fine.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But I do stand by everything I've said up until now about Lies of P. Like I think like that conversation of wearing your inspiration on your sleeve versus just ripping everything off, like it's still very much doing all of that. There are bosses in this game that are straight out of Bloodborne, straight out of Elden Ring. Sorry, go on. Brett.
It's almost as if they used AI to make this game.
No, because somebody still had to go through and actually make the boss,
Oh.
not just put in a few keywords and have the boss generated and be like, look how creative I am.
I
That's
used
beside the
Thing I
Adobe.
made.
Let's
Moving
not
on.
get back in.
Anyway,
Anybody else play anything?
I think for me, the game lands more on wearing your inspiration on your sleeve in a good way, because I do think there are enough unique stuff in this game. Like the way they tell the story is much more direct. It's not as convoluted. I think the weapon system also is like a big difference point for me.
Sure.
The grapple hook is, or not the grapple hook, but the whole arm piece I think is interesting enough that is, you could argue similar to Sekiro, but I think if you make that argument, you could also make the argument that it's similar to Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain, if we want to make the argument of metal arms that do special things, we
Mhm.
can make that argument.
Is the
Um,
story fun?
Okay.
I think
But will Haley like the story?
Matt will be a better.
Hey,
judge for that.
Haley would love the story.
Okay, so I'm gonna play.
You
it.
ain't.
All right, cool.
You ain't ever getting to it.
Yeah, I am. I'm
Come
a
on,
pro
Fix.
fucking gamer, mate. I don't know who you think you're talking to. Yeah,
Well,
I got
Fix-
all the way. I got all the way to the end of Sekiro.
I'm sensing a
What
peep for
Fix,
that.
this game's not Sekiro, so
Yeah.
what Fix is gonna end up doing is he's gonna convince Haley he's playing it, and he's just gonna play a YouTube video of play.
Of a perfect run.
No. What I mean, no. The truth is, like, if I put my mind to something, I can do it,
You
and I
can.
proved that. I proved that with Sekiro. Like, the thing is, I get annoyed at these games because once
Wait.
again, I play it on stream as well. I'm not playing this on stream. This is not getting.
One question: you said you did it with Sekiro, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you beat Sekiro? I forgot.
No, so I fucked up. So you know, Sekiro, there's
So
two
you
different
fucked up.
endings. Listen,
So
you
you
know, that
fucked up
two
and had
endings.
to actually play the game.
I had to carry on playing, and I was so angry. I was so angry. And then I couldn't make it past that next boss because there was no cheese for it.
There's always
They
a
patched
cheese.
it. They patched it. I was pissed.
Damn.
You know, everything everybody has said about this game is spot on, and you know, I felt, when we talked about it being unbalanced and in some parts bullshit and all the rest of it.
100%.
Yeah, I felt maybe it is a skill issue. Maybe I'm not the person who should be commenting on that. But I've seen like that is pretty consistent, even amongst very well known like Iron Pineapple on YouTube and stuff. You know. Are sort of echoing the same things, which kind of validates what I've been saying, I think, a little bit, and makes me feel a little bit better about it. I do think there is some serious balance issues in regards to bosses and mini bosses.
Mhm.
In
In
Lies
their
of P.
defense, and this isn't me trying to I guess this is me defending them a bit. It is their first game,
Of course, yeah.
so
yeah,
a lot of that
100%.
stuff is just like a learning process. And for that to be one of their biggest issues, I think is a good sign for the game. And for the
100%.
studio.
Yeah.
100% agree with you.
I'm not, like I say, I'm not complaining about any of the concepts in the game. Like, I think the gameplay loop itself is okay. It's good for what I've played of it. But yeah, I think it's just the balancing is the only issue that I've really had with that game. There are certain I've hit a wall where I think I spent like 10 attempts on it, and maybe I do need to just go back and try and do what you did and just run past them. But it is very much geared up. So the area I'm in is very much like it is a courtyard with a ladder into it and one exit where the boss is standing. That's it.
Yeah.
There
Behind
isn't-
him, to the left, there's a shortcut that if you manage to run past him and open, you never have
Spoilers.
to deal with him.
Wow.
It's in the demo. It's in the demo. Like,
I didn't play the
genuinely
demo.
feel-
Spoilers.
fine. I genuinely feel like that fight is trying to teach you shouldn't be taking on every fight.
Right. Okay.
Maybe it doesn't explain it well enough.
Are we thinking
I-
about the same area? Because there's the one in the train station right at the beginning that's in the demo.
Yeah, the courtyard
not
with
the
the
one-
woman in the window.
Oh yeah, okay. No, we are talking about a different one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think it's made for you to learn to skip enemies.
No. I don't think it's made for me. There we go. Moving on.
That's
Which is
fair.
fine.
Did anyone
is
play
fine.
anything else? Crash?
Yes, I played the new Cyberpunk update.
Ooh.
Put a lot of time into the Cyberpunk
Ooh.
update.
And
Game of the year.
Well, he played so much that I tried to get him to play Baldur's Gate, and it was like,
Wait,
not
no,
sure,
no.
mate. Not sure.
No. When I said I'm not sure, it's because I have my aunt visiting.
Yeah, sure,
And
sure.
I wasn't
sure.
sure.
and she
sure,
wanted to
sure.
play Baldur's Gate with you. Okay.
She wanted to play Baldur's Gate. She wanted to play Baldur's Gate with me. Fix, I had to start a new run with her. No, I'm really enjoying the new Cyberpunk update. They've essentially reworked. They kept the core of what was there with the game. So if you enjoyed Cyberpunk before, but you didn't like the bugs or you didn't like the way certain RPG mechanics in it worked, a lot of that stuff is reworked now. The skill tree is a lot more interesting because instead of every skill point being when you invest it being just some sort of stat bump, it's now, hey, you're actively unlocking different ways for you to approach a game. You know, you're getting some mitigation while you're running if you get a certain upgrade. Some upgrades are like, hey, you can now dash, and then you can go further in that tree and you get air dashes, and you can get mitigation while you're in the air, and then you can also get the Sandisk, I forget what it's called, the one that slows down time.
Mhm.
You could get it where like, hey, if you proc that in the air, you will hover in the air for a certain amount of time, and you can just shoot people while you're hovering in the air. So there's a lot of like interplay with different mechanics in it. Yes, Fix.
Does it have an oxygen system?
No oxygen system.
I'll play it. No problem. I'm in.
Yay, we're in.
Oxygen,
Wow.
we're not talking about Starfield.
No, no.
Oh, we are.
Yeah,
I'm getting back to it.
Mhm.
you're getting back to okay. Well,
Okay.
we'll talk
You said
about
you were
it in a
done
little bit.
last week. A week
I think
before.
he has the I'm done conversation coming up.
Yeah.
They reworked all the guns, so all the guns are still in the game, but they function differently. They changed how loot works in the game. Vehicle combat is now finally in the game. You can jump out of vehicles. I've been riding my motorcycle around, getting to the NYP. I said NYPD, NCPD areas where you have to like stop the criminals or whatever. And I'll just jump out of the motorcycle. I'm going for a sword build, so I'll just run out of them. I'll take out my throwing knife, hit it with one guy, and then just run through all of the rest of them with my sword. It's very, very fun.
Nice.
Probably some of the most fun I've had in a game this year.
Okay.
So-
Game
Yeah.
came out like 4 years ago.
I enjoyed it a lot 4 years ago too.
Same. I'm very
When's the
excited. So,
expansion out?
26.
2 days.
Okay.
I think 2
Yeah.
days. Yeah, 2 days.
And is it a expansion, like finish the game then play it, or is it like
It's
this slots in?
it slots in the middle. I'm trying to get to the point before it comes out. Which I'm not too far off. I think I'm like a mission or two away from unlocking the point where the mission would pop up.
Yeah. So I did some research. So you can basically you have an option. So you can they recommend starting a new character and right now and getting to that point, or you can when you load the game with the DLC, you can just skip straight to that point if you've already played it. You can run your existing character, but I think it just causes some issues, like not gameplay issues, but like you'll have to respec your skills and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I'm very excited. I've got the DLC ready to go. So once that launches, I am jumping straight in myself. Very
Sick.
excited. And what you've just said there makes me even more excited.
Reviews came out for it, right? But
Mhm.
like reviewers have had it for a while and stuff. So
Yeah, I think
Yes,
Embargo dropped last week or this week.
I think it was somewhere between like an 87 or a 93 in Metacritic.
yeah,
I don't
people
remember
were
exactly
very
where
positive on
was.
it. Yeah,
Mhm.
and not everybody reviews DLC and stuff. And
No.
While we're talking about reviewing DLCs, they reckon Separate Ways is maybe possibly the best DLC to ever come out on Resident Evil. Resident Evil 4 Separate
Oh,
Ways.
yeah,
Apparently,
I was
I've
gonna-
got it. I bought it. I didn't even wait. I didn't even bother. Like, I was meant to play it for the podcast. I'll do it for next week.
Mhm.
Apparently, from what I'm seeing from the Resident Evil community,
Yeah,
the best DLC ever. Like what they're saying.
So
I was gonna
take
bring it up.
back.
Apparently, from what I was reading, they put in a lot of work into the
Yeah.
DLC.
New
So
content and
maybe
stuff,
that
yeah.
price point is worth it.
Which is
What,
what we were saying last
$7.99?
week. Yeah. We were saying that
think-
last week, weren't we? That-
Again, yeah, like I'm happy to have been. I'm even if I don't like it, right? It's still proven me right, like proven me wrong. I'm happy to be proven wrong. That they did the work, they charged the money, and they've reaped the rewards from that. I'm sure I'm gonna love it, but yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I was just worried. That was all.
Yeah, I think it's a fair thing to be worried about, especially when we've had the conversation about what Capcom charges you for Resident Evil with the upgrade tokens and all that stuff.
Yeah. So before we go, because we're obviously rounding up here, Matt, you got anything you've been playing before I go into this next?
no, nothing new. Just Lies of P and tried Payday but failed. So more Lies of P.
You didn't foul. We played a little. We played a little.
We
should
played
play
a
again.
little.
We can organize a day to play again. I'm down to play again if you don't
Yeah.
wanna.
Yeah,
Sounds
I'm
good. So Starfield. I played more. No. I played more Starfield. Had a
Yeah.
good time with it. Me and my chat, we were playing it. Whatever. We got onto the talk of modding Starfield, and there is a mod on Starfield which is it's a UI mod. Makes everything look much better, way more understandable, things of that nature, right?
Start UI, yeah.
I decided not to install the mod because do you think it is fair for me to install the mod and then review that game on where it comes down? I have to play what is there, right?
Yeah,
We don't review games, so
Yeah,
yeah, I understand that what you're probably worried about, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that you mod the game, it makes it a better experience for you, it ranks higher in your Game of the Year list.
Exactly.
Ultimately, I feel like play the game the best way that you can play it, and if you enjoy it, great. And then caveat that in the Game of the Year discussion. I think that's
Yeah.
totally fine.
I don't think I can continue playing this game if I do not install some of these mods that make some of the
Also
dumbest
mods.
stuff, some of the stuff that just frustrates me. And I'm not talking about just like, like a little frustration. I'm talking, I'm getting angry at the game while playing it.
Yeah. The
Install
thing is,
mods.
because I was there when you discovered all these mods
Yes.
that people and your reaction to seeing what the community have fixed is
It just annoyed me.
priceless.
It
Yeah.
really annoyed me.
Didn't somebody add like seamless like transitions from planet to outer planet as a mod?
No,
Or
yes
something
and
along those
no.
lines?
So
Okay.
you can transition to planets seamlessly to like major points in game vanilla, but it will take you literal years to do so. So people have just been adding
No.
mods that increase the speed.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like getting off planet and things like that and undocking
Oh.
and stuff like that.
Oh,
If I'm
know.
not mistaken, I could have misread it because I just like sort of read the title. I'm playing it on Game Pass PC, so
Okay,
I'm not
yeah,
going to be
same.
modding it
So,
anytime soon.
yeah,
so
yeah. I am thinking about picking up on Steam to have a play around with some of the mods,
Mm.
just to see what is available. But yeah, no, I don't know about that. Stuff.
Infuriating. Apparently the mods work on Game Pass version though, by the way.
It is harder, but
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Maybe
it can be done. So that's so okay. So maybe you're getting another week out of me then, Starfield. But yeah, I decided to not install the mods because I was just like, for the sake of, we do an Xbox podcast, right?
Yeah.
Like Xbox obviously is not the console, but I would say of our audience, I would say probably 80% play on console. I think it would be super disingenuous to me to like install these mods and then be like, "Oh my god, Starfield's amazing! I'm loving it!" And then like it's because I've installed like 10,000 mods to get the game to a place in which I'm happy with it.
The one
But I
thing
think that having the bit of like I installed mods and this is my
Yeah,
experience with
yeah,
the mods
yeah,
is
yeah,
very
yeah.
different.
I would
'Cause I
also
think once you get that, I'm sorry, these
No,
go
come.
ahead.
I was going to say I was going to say the caveat of that is next year that will be a thing that Xbox players could do as well with the Creation Club launches.
Yeah,
But
that's
right
next year.
now,
We're talking
yeah,
about
right
this
now,
year.
yeah, it's not possible.
But also, if I'm not mistaken, the Creation Club, because they've had something similar for like Fallout 4 and stuff like that, and not all mods are available on those services, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
It's not everything.
Yeah, it has to get approved to be up there, I think. But yeah.
So
Okay, all right. Let's end on guess the game. Whose week is it? Despawn. All
Matt.
right.
Oh,
I'm aware that we're on an audio podcast, and I'm just putting my hand up. Yes, it is me. Sorry, I'm just.
I thought you were pointing at Matt, to be honest, because
No.
you're pointing at Matt for me. So I thought you were.
I was pointing at you for me, but yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
All right, you got a game. You got a game. So guess the game. If you don't know, this is your first time watching the podcast. If it is, make sure you drop a review. Yeah, we still need a theme tune. We still need a name for this segment. And it's kind of in beta testing right now. If we're being totally honest with you, I think we're going to up the time. But boys, are you ready? Are you ready?
Yep.
Despawn.
Who's
Have you got a
first?
timer? You. It's gonna go you,
me.
Matt, me.
Okay.
Cool.
Are we deciding? Is it going to be a minute, or are we going to 2 minutes this time?
Let's keep it a minute for you.
Keep it a minute for now. Yeah,
Okay.
Let's go round once, and then we'll go again. All right.
Okay. Let me just read the game that I have chosen to make sure that.
So for those who want to keep up with the scores right now, guess the game. You have Crash on 0 points, Matt on 1 point, Paul Despawn on 1 point, and MC Fixer on 0 points.
Filthy work.
Alright.
Guess the game. Yes or
just the
no
rules.
questions, right?
Yeah.
Yes or no questions? Yeah.
Has to be available on Xbox. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. All right.
Okay.
Ready? Go.
Is it a 360 game?
The
Oh,
series.
come
yes.
on.
Yes.
Does it have multiplayer?
Yes.
Is it a third-person game?
No. Yes.
Is there shooting?
No.
Is it a Bethesda game?
No.
RTS?
No.
Is it is it on the Xbox One?
No.
Okay.
Backwards compatible, maybe.
Is it a sports game?
Yes.
Is it fuck, sports? That fucks me. Is it racing game?
Yes.
Is it a first party game?
No.
That's a minute,
Matt!
Dan. That's
Matt!
a minute. What, you want me to
No,
give
there was
one
still
more?
time. You could have got 2 more questions in there.
No, we
I
couldn't have
need
got
you
two more.
moving faster,
Okay,
Matt.
it's a racing game.
Oh, so I'm going to
Yes.
say to that last one I was wrong. Yes.
I know
first
what game it
party.
is.
Okay. All right.
I think I've
right.
got to guess
The
as
last
well. We're
one,
writing it down.
what last one you were wrong about?
So is it a first party game?
Yes, it is.
It
Yes.
is.
Yeah, I know where it is.
Okay. So write it in your notepad and hold it up. Whenever you're ready.
First party game.
I'll wait for them to have theirs written down
Yeah,
first.
I got mine.
I don't like this. I got nothing. I got nothing. A first party game.
First
360.
party racing.
Come on, Crash.
I got nothing.
Think. 360, first party racing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you don't know it from that, then
No, I don't. Like you. The
Alright,
only thing my
just
mind
right. So
goes.
you can,
I
you can
have
just
a
say yours. You
feeling-
just say yours.
It's going to be a Halo issue
Yeah.
again.
No, it's not.
I want to go last.
No, you go first because you don't know it.
Yeah.
I'm
Are
relatively
you,
confident.
I'm going to say you're going to write it on your notepad. You're going to hold up your phone so there's no changing it.
Yeah, I'm not changing it. I
Okay.
just would rather.
Oh, no, I
have the
believe in
you
him.
guys go first.
Well, I'm
I
gonna
just
get it
guessed-
right. So
I just guessed Forza, man. I have
Okay.
no other guess.
Not Forza.
I know.
Yeah, I did Forza Horizon.
Oh,
guys, Microsoft
knew-
only
no.
own 2 racing
I
franchises.
know it. I know
don't-
it. Project Gotham.
Yeah,
Project
Project
Gotham
Gotham
Racing.
Racing.
Shit.
Let's go.
I'll be honest. My mind went to
Ooh.
Gotham something, and I didn't remember the name of it. I'm like, I'm not guessing. I don't even know if that's first party.
Damn.
I thought that was
Uh,
third party.
Published by Microsoft Game Studios.
Yeah, no, owned IP. We haven't seen it in a while. One of the first racing games I ever played on the 360.
There you go.
I'm so upset.
Just
I
to-
could've
I
taken
just
the
wa-
lead.
I just want to do points again, guys, real quick. We have Kresh on 0,
Cool,
Matt
sick.
on 1, Paul Despawn on 1, and MC Fixer, me, on 1.
I
Thank you
should
very
be on
much.
2. I should have got that.
As soon as you said racing first party, I knew I had that in the bag.
hmm
I knew instantly I had that in the bag.
I wish I knew titles better because I like my mind was like, oh, I'll make that my throwaway guess. But the only thing I remembered about it was Gotham. I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
you
I don't think you guys would have gave it to me if I just put the title as Gotham.
I think
I
I
would've
would have
done,
if you
yeah.
just put Gotham.
Would you
I
have?
would have given it to you.
Yeah.
Project
I'll-
Gotham
next time.
Racing, like yeah.
I wouldn't have given it to you, but I'm not the host.
I know
so
Fix wouldn't
I
have
don't
given
get to
it to me.
decide. So
Yeah.
there you
Okay.
go.
So host
Told you,
decides whether you
you've
get
got
the
to play.
point or
You've
not?
got to play to the strengths of the
Okay.
host. You have
Okay.
to.
So
Me on the other
It's
hand,
a
I'll
learning
give you
process
nothing.
right now.
It's a
learning
learning. It's in beta. It's in beta. It's in beta.
Yes,
it's
beta.
it's my pick next
Early
week,
access,
and I have to
yes.
make sure none of you score.
Yes.
That seems mean, but okay.
It does seem mean. It does seem mean. As soon we got there though. We got there.
Purposefully- I don't want anybody purposefully Googling like every game that's come out to Xbox and be like, I'm gonna go for the most obscure
No,
shit.
no,
Yeah,
no,
no,
I
no,
know,
no.
no. I agree. I will go for one that you definitely all know.
But you're gonna make it a difficult one. Got
I'd
it.
even wager it's a game you've all played. I shouldn't have said. I've said too much. I've said too much.
Oh,
We already have.
All right,
Mine's
I'm,
already running all over the
I'm gonna
place.
say I've played at
Oh.
least
That doesn't
3
really mean
Xbox
much, to be
games.
honest.
Okay. All right. Guys, that is it for this week's podcast. We will do more questions for next week. Thank you for watching. That was a 2.5 hour podcast. God damn it.
Long one.
Don't get used to it because there's no way I can keep Matt here for that long again. Make sure you plug and get ourselves out of it. Decent, we got to plug.
YouTube.com/my Xbox and me.
Yeah, mum. Crash.
My Xbox and me podcast services, leave reviews.
I think he's gonna just say
I
the
wasn't ready for you to
podcast. I was
call
like,
on me. I'll
I
be
was going to
honest.
say the podcast. Like they can't not know about the podcast if they're listening to the end of the podcast.
I
Crash.
meant
It's
reviewing.
impossible. Okay,
Reviewing.
reviews.
Just
Okay,
leave,
all right.
leave a review.
Matt, do you realize the plug section is meant to be for you guys to promote yourselves, right?
I got nothing to promote.
Okay,
What do you want me to promote?
Yeah.
Follow me on Twitter.
Yeah, there you go.
perfect.
Go watch the My Xbox and Me Payday 3 stream. Let us know if you want more of that kind of stuff.
I want more of that, but I just want us to figure out how to do the camera thing. I had a friend of the show, Ant, reached out. He was like, yo, I wanted to do that. I was like, oh, hi. And I was like, well, you mean OBS Ninja? And then he was like, yeah. I was like, no, mate, we're not on the same network. It don't work. It was like, oh. What about VMix? I was like, yeah, we're trying to learn it. We're trying. Yeah, you can follow me everywhere at MC Fixer. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. The live streams is the thing that I wanna promote. We'll try and do another one for this week as well. Maybe Payday, maybe something else. Plenty of games out to play, so who knows?
Party animals.
Party animals. That's what we should do.
I want to
Yeah.
throw some hands.
We should do
We
that.
also
We
got,
should do that.
There was a question in the Discord, not for like the podcast questions from, I want to say Full Metal wrote in the question asking if we do party animals. I said I think the plan is, because we've mentioned it, to do it
Yeah.
at some point.
It is installed.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll get installed.
Is
That's
that-
fine.
Is it crossplay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Gotta be.
It's
It's got to be. It's got PC to Xbox. Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I've got
yeah.
an Xbox anyway.
Support the live streams if you can. If you turn on I think the big thing is turn on notifications, because again, we're a little bit sporadical with when we do things. We understand that it's something we're working on. But yeah, we've done a Payday stream now. We've done a live reactions to Tokyo Game Show, which we didn't even get to on this week's episode. Honestly, didn't miss much, unfortunately. But we'll talk about that. And on next week's, what else? I'm missing something. I know I am. What else did we do?
CMAs.
No, but what else did we
Oh.
do? What else did we do? We
Tons
did
of stuff.
Payday,
We already talked
Mortal
about.
Check
Kombat,
them out.
and Mortal
Yeah,
Kombat.
Mortal
Yeah, go check out the content. All right, until next time, we will love you. We will leave you. We will see you all later. Good boy.